But anyways, we got Bernard. Hey, we got Canada tuning in.
We got Canada in here.
Canada
in the house. I'm just taking a moment to set up. I'm testing, setting up a second StreamYard from your account to mirror this stream to see if we can actually get it on 6 channels. And I'm going to be trying to connect my OdySee, Rumble, and whatnot, mirroring the stream.
How far are you right now from the crash site?
Oh God, probably as far as you are from me in Western Canada to the East Coast.
Damn.
I'm pretty much like on the border, like about 100 miles from Montana.
Is there a lot of snow up there, eh?
Here we go. I'll show you right now, eh? It's actually been a really warm winter, eh? Like it was cold in December, but January and February, it was it's been above 0 Celsius. Like it's not much snow. Usually it's about 6-7 feet tall, and like I'd already have a frost beard on by now, just stepping outside. But
I haven't had to burn a lot of firewood this winter.
No, we're lucky, eh? They saved us, unlike Europe there.
Even though
I'll hop back in a minute.
AF already got to go to work later on soon. Me just could not go to sleep without catching your latest take on all of this, plus some bucks to support your work, buddy. Or some beers. You're a hero. Grube from Deutschland. Some Deutschland. I got some Deutschmarks. Thank you for the Deutschmarks, my friend.
That great? Like, as much as YouTube sucks for censoring, it also still is pretty freaking awesome in how it connects everybody and all of us across the world.
Well, if you're tuned into this stuff, then you're tuned in. And I know that a lot of people like tuned in long ago and then tuned out. And when this kind of event happens, they like come back. A lot of people have just been like, look, I didn't want anyone else's take. I just wanted to have you break it all down and tell us what's going on. And I appreciate that.
You're a legend. You've been doing it forever.
Like just don't rely on me as the only source, because I rely on you guys just as much as you rely on me. And it's a team community of trying to get the best information available and make important decisions. I made the joke, my stream is that the Pentagon shoots down a UFO for choosing Canada over US for first contact, because Canada, how many countries has Canada invaded in the past 100 years?
Everyone that the U.S. invaded just 1 week afterwards.
Right. Yeah. It is. It's kind of it's kind of like that. Yeah, I guess. They
are your subservient state.
Yes. I guess, I got a good point there, but technically they don't actually go to war with anyone. They just send in support troops, so it's very political, and it's a good job to get going there.
Actually, now that you brought that up, this has stuck with me since Trudeau first got elected. I remember that on his, the night he got elected, he actually tried pulling Canada's forces out of Iraq, and he brought back all of our warplanes and was trying to pull all of the army out. The next day, he got summoned to Malta and was forced to fly to Malta, of all places, where, those Maltese knights that run the Vatican, I guess, are from. But he went there as his first foreign trip. 1 day in, came back a day later, and all of a sudden he's like, oh, no, we're sending more troops to Iraq. It was strange.
Yeah, it's funny how all that works, man. It's just like it's one big mafia, really, I guess, man. But anyways, let's talk about this. If this thing was a real UFO, number one, they would not have been able to shoot it down. All right. They would not have, they would have been chased. This thing would have done circles around our Sidewinder missiles.
It would have phase shifted away from it, essentially.
It would have teleported, or accelerated at, a higher velocity than any of these things. Really, it's not going to be shot down. So that's number one. Number two, if somehow they had, their gamma razor and they shot this thing while it was, low on fuel and they couldn't put up the force field in time, right? Let's just say they did manage to shoot down something or something did crash, right? Then they would have released 4 balloons to cover it up. You know what I mean? They would, and this in Canada, you said this is as far away from you up in the Northern Territory as you are from me up here over all the way on the East Coast.
Yeah.
So this is remote as you can get, man. I mean,
literally, exactly.
There,
I don't know. As remote. It's like it wasn't. It was, I believe, off the coast of the Yukon, or like just close to, like on the border of the Yukon, which it's like that's like closer to the North Pole than any major city in North America.
It's funny is they're still calling them UFOs, and they're not like telling the truth about it. It's like we know at least 2 of them or one of them was confirmed as a Chinese spy balloon or spy drone or some kind. But to keep calling it a UFO, it's like it's obvious that they're prolonging this and trying to get some.
Ratchet up as much China tension as possible to be like, oh, don't look at my son's laptop and all the hundreds of millions that my son accepted.
So it's also a big distraction from that chemical spill out in Ohio.
Yeah, one of the worst ecological disasters of our time, supposedly, I was reading up on today, and not a word about it in the mainstream. Just these UFO, UAP weather balloons.
Oh, we got it on Newsweek, actually. It is in some of the mainstream media. The impact concern. Yeah, impact.
But how long ago did this happen? Like, it's been going on for a little while now, hasn't it? This huge, like, it was burning for days or something, and like it's just making the news now.
What is it? What kind of chemical? Ethyl hexyl acrylate? Ooh, what the heck? Vinyl chloride?
Right? Like, acrylate. Look at that.
This is going to make PCBs and dioxin. Yeah, like, and benzene. And lots of benzene. So
you breathe that smoke in, you're probably gonna die on pretty close to the spot, or
nasty crap,
in a couple of years. Just being around that's like
yeah, this is a disaster, guys.
Yeah, literally, like one of the worst.
Wow, look at that. Oh, that is just horrible. I would be like, I just have my gas mask on and I would be put a plastic up. I don't even know.
Yeah, there was Wally's saying there were animals dying at nearby farms. I believe it. Like that toxic of chemicals burning, like that is acid. Like there'll probably be acid rain around there, or acidic snow, like for years, probably. Like,
well, I mean, it just goes right out, but it's like they did when they blasted the atomic bomb tests at the nuclear test site, right? Studies, right? So you can look up the nuclear fallout studies and the infographic that they'd done from these. So they blast these huge megaton atomic tests, and they would send tons of atomic fallout up into the atmosphere, just like the Fukushima reactor in Daiichi is leaking all that stuff into the ocean, and it just makes its way across. So all your Alaskan king crab and all our seafood just got super contaminated.
Keeps accumulating more and more.
So the FDA just was like, all right, we're just going to up the recommended dosage so that, we can, because otherwise it's going to shut down all the fish farms and the fish industry is just
right. Like that's a really good point. I remember that being discussed like a couple years after Fukushima and whatnot. It would be interesting. We need to do a follow-up like investigation into that, of looking at what those original levels were like tolerated at, and then try and go and get some samples and see what it's now. And they'd probably be like, you will die if you eat this. And like everything in the wild will test to at least that level.
Oh, this is a cool graphic showing the different
the Tsar
size
on the right.
Yeah, it's Tsar Bomba. That was the biggest one ever detonated, and they were just like, nah, all right, you guys win. It's like Russia and
like, okay, you're gonna take out 10% of the U.S. population if you drop that anywhere within
61. What the heck, dude? Yeah, it was 10 years after Castle Bravo.
Right, like look at how much taller that goes up. How far up did that Bomba cloud go, the mushroom cloud, compared to like the largest Earth or volcano cloud in plumes?
Over 200,000 feet. And then there was the starfish, right? This was the starfish one where they did one in like space.
Really? What? Was that one like recently declassified or something? I don't remember ever being taught about one in space. I remember my Canadian government telling me that they rejected that the UN, or was it done in Antarctica?
Starfish Prime. And
was that the one in Antarctica that they...
I think it was actually up over the dead middle of the Pacific Ocean.
Oh, but like by the Bikini Island or whatever? Maybe somewhere around there.
Yeah, they did the H-bomb test in not Bikini Atoll, Enwok Atoll. And but this is something different. And
they actually did one in the what?
Yeah, Starfish Prime, and it was a high-altitude nuclear test conducted by the United States in a joint effort of the Atomic Energy Commission and Defense Atomic Support Agency. It was launched from Johnston Atoll. Okay, so they got a space center on Johnston Atoll too, where they launch a lot of top secret tests and stuff from during the 60s. So it's been brought up in other UFO.
Where's that compared? That's got to be on the opposite side then of where Diego Garcia is, because that's also one of their secret sites, right? They can do space launches, or that was landings.
Hawaii. It's not like Fiji and Cook Islands and all that. It's not that like that far out, like Guam.
Gotcha.
But it's
that's crazy.
Yeah, the Starfish Prime, and they could see it over Hawaii. This was like the people in Hawaii were taking pictures of the.
When was this?
1962. Really?
Man, I swear, like the Canadian educational system, it's imprinted in my brain that we were taught that they never did any in the atmosphere because it was too risky. Like we were told that in school as kids.
Yeah, well, I mean, Tsar Bomba, you seen it went into the upper atmosphere.
Oh yeah, it went way up into the upper atmosphere, but
feet, and this explosion took place at an altitude of 250 miles.
That's like halfway into space.
Above a point 19 miles southwest of Johnston Atoll. So a yield of 1.4 megatons. Explosion was about 10 degrees above the horizon as seen from Hawaii at 11 p.m. Hawaiian time. Okay. 250 miles. So what's that in feet?
250. Oh, feet. Sorry, I was thinking you're saying meters. You're asking kilometers.
Wow, so that's a million feet higher than the Tsar Bomba reached. You know, over a million higher than the Tsar Bomba was.
Yeah, like that's.
So, like, yeah, like
that's gonna rain on everything. Rain down on everything, eh?
No way, man. That's what it says. 250 miles. Altitude 250 miles up.
That's nuts. Like we've got a rate. Yeah, we essentially it's probably still raining radiation down on us a lot less, but still probably from that day.
Were there any satellites or like anything nearby? I mean, this might have had like a multi-purpose.
Yeah, in the 60s. The shock wave, the EMP wave that would have gone through it, it would have wiped out all satellites at that point.
Yeah. Damn. So after effects. Energetic beta particles followed the Earth's magnetic field and illuminated the sky. Other high-energy electrons became trapped and formed radiation belts around the Earth. There was much uncertainty and debate about the composition, magnitude, and potential adverse effects from the trapped radiation after the detonation. The weaponeers became quite worried that when 3 satellites in low Earth orbit were disabled, these included the track and transit 4B. The half-life of the energetic electrons was only a few days. At the time, it was not known that solar and cosmic particle fluxes varied by a factor of 10, and energies could exceed 1 megavolt or 0.16 picojoules. In the months that followed, these man-made radiation belts eventually caused 6 or more satellites to fail, and as radiation damaged their solar arrays or electronics, including the first commercial relay communication satellites, Telestar, as well as the United Kingdom's first satellite, Ariel 1, detectors on Telestar track engine and Ariel 1 were used to measure distribution of the radiation produced by the tests. But I don't know. So were there any classified Russian satellites that were taken out by this that we don't know about? Because that just
most likely,
those wouldn't have been reported. These ones, would. Casualties of war. Sorry, we can afford to pay them a couple $1 million to pay for their satellites as long as we took out the Kennan. What's it? The Kennan satellite. You heard of the Kennan spy satellite?
What is that from the 60s too, or 70s? 60s, I guess it would have to have been at the same time.
It's one of
the very first
76. So no, 76 NRO.
Would have been way out. Yeah, it's a decade and a half after.
When they were launching these Hubble, it had like a sister telescope, and then like both of them were equipped with this big gyroscope that they could just flip the gyroscope and actually the thing could turn around to take pictures of the Earth.
Go back to Earth.
So, because
right, and
isn't it just?
But there was a second one that we've not really heard about ever since, have we?
Yeah, like it's like Kennan. It was like almost a clone of the of some of these. They're actually like better than some of these other satellites too. Like the NSA spy satellites, people have no idea what they have now. I mean, this was 76, so I know they have a bunch of these spy satellites that can. One of them said they could read the Marlboro on your cigarette, on a clear day.
Oh, it's just ridiculous. Like, man, just to think about that, like that's absolutely crazy. Did you see Tim Ventura's most recent upload a couple hours ago there? He is interviewing one of the Navy guys that was involved with the Tic-Tacs or something along that lines. It was pretty good.
And he interviewed Patrick Hughes yesterday to talk about the Nimitz encounters. So
yeah, right. Like,
yeah,
maybe play 5 or 6 minutes of this at the beginning there. Tim covers some really good points on the reporting of a couple of those UAPs that were taken down and why they're UAPs,
all right,
or why he's still referring to them as UAP.
Yeah, let me entire screen. No, I want to share this tab so we can get the audio. Yeah, let's get this audio going.
Investigative filmmaker and retired U.S. Navy Chief Master at Arms. He served on various vessels and duty stations abroad. Most notably, he was part of the bridge crew on board the USS Princeton during the infamous Tictoc UAP incident in the USS Unit in 2004. He joined today to discuss the remarkable story of 4 unidentified flying objects shot down over the U.S. last week. So, Sean, welcome back. It has been a weird week. Folks in the audience, just to preface this, folks in the audience have been asking me what I think of this story, and they have been asking me to ask you what you think. So I need aspirin. That's where I'm at. Where are you at?
I'm in about the same place. Yeah, there's questions and inquiry coming from 100 directions, with very different intent behind them around this subject. So there's a lot of things in the air at the moment, no pun intended. So.
Yeah, well, no, that's a good point, right? Like when you have something that's mysterious like this, everyone tries to fit it into their own narrative, you know? So I'm sure that like people in the UFO community are trying to say, okay, well, this is an unidentified, alien artifact. And of course, the defense community is looking at this in terms of, Chinese surveillance, and who knows what the actual story is. But, I have been going through, and I sent these to you beforehand. I've been going through and taking notes. I've probably got about 20 different news stories that I've looked at. So this all started with a high altitude Chinese balloon that was shot down last Saturday. That's a week and a couple days ago off the coast of South Carolina. It traveled across the United States. Since then, a second object was shot down just last Friday over Alaska at about 40,000 feet. Another object was shot down at around 40,000 feet over the Yukon on Saturday. And a fourth object was shot down at only 20,000 feet over Lake Huron on Sunday. CNN quoted an anonymous national security spokesperson as saying these objects did not closely resemble and were much smaller than the PRC balloon, and we will not definitively characterize them until we can recover the debris, which we're working on. Politico reported that the object shot down on Friday was reportedly cylindrical in shape and roughly the size of a small car, and also not maneuverable. And I think that's about all they've said. It appeared to also lack surveillance equipment. Canada's defense minister said that the one shot down over the Yukon was also small and cylindrical, and then the one over Lake Huron was octagonal in structure, and that reportedly had strings hanging off of it, but no payload. So let me go to you on these.
Octagonal on the Great Lake.
One over Alaska, and then the one over Yukon. These kind of resemble the Tic Tac in their description, right? They're cylindrical, they're elongated.
I'd say on that data point, that one descriptor, yes, but I would need to know the angle of attack of the cylinder. What was its orientation? If I've got pilots that can make a determination that it was non-maneuverable, is that only based on the idea that there were no obvious means of propulsion? Or was it just based on the fact that it remained stationary or seemed to move with the air currents? There's a lot of data points that are missing for us at home. We've got the sensational headline portion. We've got unidentified objects in American and allied airspace, undetected for a long period of time or unreported to the public. But as we were finding out, as this develops, this has been going on for quite a while. We've had numerous balloon incidents like this that were tracked, just not disclosed to the public. I would say that when they're definitive balloons, whether weather balloons, Chinese surveillance balloons, or God forbid, test beds for EMP weapons, as some have wondered, that's one thing completely separate. Those are identified and identifiable, and they're following proper tracks. I'm curious at a cylinder. A cylinder is not a good way to make a balloon unless you have counterweights, propulsion, different ballasting, and the means to monitor and make those changes, because that shape doesn't want to lay on its side. A tic tac filled with helium or hydrogen is not naturally going to float in a horizontal manner. It's going to need to be forced down into that orientation based on the way that buoyancy works. So if we were to find out that they were horizontally oriented without any means of ballast or propulsion, I'd be very interested, as someone who studies UAP, in the case. Across the board, I'm interested from a national security aspect, because the question, while I'm not a fan of this question with UAP, why now? Why are we suddenly seeing these? Why are they? We know that they're not novel immediately. They just haven't been reported to us. So are we looking at something that is a question of just a different administration that has a different interest in reporting different things for political reasons based on Ukraine and mounting tensions, et cetera? Or are we looking at something that is more akin to maybe filters have been taken off at NORAD or somewhere else in accordance with something like Arrow, and now we're suddenly looking farther down the spectrum at objects we weren't looking at before, at the loitering clutter on the radar, or low, slow flyers that don't appear to be threats of some kind. There's a lot of information we're missing, and so a lot of people are conflating UAP to already identified shot down balloons, tracked surveillance equipment. But this is indicating to us that we have a hole in our frontier, so to speak, and that little scale there where these balloons are fit perfectly in to the scale where we find UAP. So if this is a question of national security, we're looking at holes in our fence. And if this is a question of the presence of something more esoteric, well, we seem to have found a way to detect it. Why are we immediately shooting these things down if they're not identified?
Yeah. Well, and those are excellent points. You broached a lot of big topics there, and going to the idea that these things aren't new, and this is off my questions list, but I had an email 2 days ago from someone who was asking for Kevin Day's email, right? And I said to him, well, let me forward something, who are you? And so the person started to write. He'd said he was a radar operator in the military, and he described what Kevin had seen. And he said, I was working at a stateside station on the coast, and he said, we saw these things go down the coast all the time on our radar. So to what you said, this isn't new, right? Maybe filters have just been removed. And I mean, there are rumors of this that go back decades, right? These anomalies on radar that just get ignored because they're not causing any trouble. They don't seem to be an immediate threat. So,
yeah, I think we've all seen, the Friday night mysterious TV show, talking about the radar operators tracking things over and over again. We've seen it. We've been watching it for the last 30 years on television as an aspect of entertainment. And whether it's that or the rumor mill coming out of the military or from radar operators, like you said, or when I talk to the sonar techs who say that it's just as busy underwater and we just shrug it off and don't log it. Well, if we're logging it now, if the time has come that we're going to pay attention and the people are going to find out about it, I think what I would say is don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. This is one of those where people have to check their outrage for a minute and say, wait a second, you knew? Yes, come on. Of course they knew. It's just there doesn't seem any way to rip this Band-Aid off easily.
Yeah, well, no, that's a good point. So in terms of the Alaska anomaly, this object in Alaska, both the open source intelligence monitor and CNN leaked briefing details from F-22 pilots who tracked the aircraft, and they had said that it interfered with their sensors and they could see no propulsion systems on the aircraft, not knowing how it could possibly be staying in the air. And I'm quoting that obviously because it's kind of headline English, not proper grammar. But So the interfering with their sensors is interesting. Now, and again, I believe this is one of the cylinders. If there was something on it, some kind of a surveillance payload, maybe that could interfere with an F-22, right? That doesn't necessarily mean that it's some kind of an alien artifact, but it is interesting. It's interesting that it would do that.
Well, we have definitively seen prosaic balloons carrying what our government has claimed after salvaging them in international, properly in the water and checking them out, that these were signals intelligence collection platforms.
Yeah.
Now, so we know what those look like, at least in that mark, make, and model from the Chinese. Even if they say it's a weather balloon, our folks say that's not the data collection devices that were on board. Are we now looking at something that is more akin to an EMP, radar jamming, some kind of, a non-passive, an active system? Is that what they encountered? I find it really intriguing because I put a great deal of stake behind what these pilots are saying. I know they're professionals. I know they're trained to observe highly detailed things in a very dynamic environment. I trust what they're seeing and what they say about it. So if they say it was not maneuverable, it was low altitude, they can't figure out how it was in the air, that's telling me that they ruled out that it was a balloon, because any one of us would look at something that's in the air without those things and say, well, it must be a balloon of some kind. So what did it look like that made it sure to them? And where's the gun camera footage of this that makes it obvious it's not a balloon? And then we'll crowbar that one out into UAP, and it should be studied as such, because these UAP and foreign adversaries are that technology is now starting to bump into each other as we get more advanced into 5th generational technologies and things like that. And that's an assumption I'm making, but I think it's a rather obvious one. So it's going to be harder to be distinctive between those two things on the battlefield as time goes forward.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned altitudes. So I did some research on this. So according to USA Today, and this is common knowledge, the common cruising altitude for most commercial airlines is 33,000 to 42,000 feet, roundabouts. Weather balloons, when they're released, and I saw a bunch of photos of these, and these actually look like, when they do, apparently there are something like 90 or 100 weather balloons released every day. But these just look like oversized party balloons, right? They're round, they have a single person holding them. They're not that large. They have a radio sonde attached to them. They travel up to 100,000 feet in the air, and they basically go up much faster than they move sideways. And again, the objects that we're talking about here were at around 40,000 feet, which is probably the reason why the government officials cited a potential risk to civilian aviation as the reason to shoot these things down, as well as the surveillance potential. Now, another thing that I looked up was when the original reports came out, they'd said, nope, this is a surveillance device. And I said, well, wait a minute. The Chinese are saying this is a weather balloon. So Politico quoted an unnamed senior State Department official who said they had high-res imagery from U-2 flybys that revealed that the initial balloon, the one from China, was capable of conducting signals intelligence collection, and the equipment aboard it was inconsistent with what they would see in a weather balloon. So I guess that was how they made that determination, right? But again, it's interesting that Chinese balloon, it doesn't resemble a Tic Tac. And from the media reports, it doesn't resemble these 3 other reported objects. And so one of the things that occurred to me was, it seems like it's fair to say that if the Chinese were going to spy on us, now we know how they would do it and what it would look like. And that's not what you encountered on the Princeton, right? And that's not these objects in Alaska or over the Yukon.
You're absolutely correct. Our personnel on the scene, our professionals on board USS Princeton, USS Nimitz, were able to determine very early that this was not a balloon or seagulls or other chaff or things like that once we had all the data in. And so, no, it's assuredly not what we encountered on Princeton. And I would say, secondly, let's back up a minute and say, we know the Chinese are going to spy on us, and that this is one of the many means of which they would do so. And I think it's interesting, if it's passive spying, doing nothing more or less obtrusive than a satellite might, then perhaps you would want to let it go so you can witness the capabilities of the platform. If
Yeah.
it's not a threat, you're going to watch it as long as you need to. You're not going to shoot it down until you have to. And then when you do so, you're going to do it in a manner that sends a message. I'm still trying to figure out the message of using a $40 million Sidewinder to shoot down a balloon, but especially if you want to recover the debris. but I wasn't the one making that decision. I'm far more concerned, as I said, on the national security front, that one day our technicians at NORAD are going to look over the top of their coffee cup and see 1,000 Chinese lanterns with EMP devices coming over the horizon. And if that capability to sneak in under the radar like that literally exists, that frightens me. I hope we are removing the checks and the filters to find these things, even if it makes folks' jobs harder and suddenly UAPs start popping up everywhere, which I have a feeling is kind of what we're seeing. Now, I'm not gonna go right to saying the octagonal and cylindrical objects we're talking about were UAP in a UFO classical sense, but as they are as yet unidentified, they have to remain in that bucket. And I think a lot of people are especially the folks that get a real visceral trigger from the UFO UAP subject. We should be far less concerned with the extraterrestrial aspect and just more concerned with identifying the things that are in our atmosphere, airspace, orbit, local area, etc. And ease off trying to make these binary distinctions about origin and pilots and things like that. We have so much to learn. And if it was easy over the last 70 years, they just would have told us everything they knew if it was simple.
Yeah, well, that's an excellent point. That's an excellent point. So General Glenn Van Herk at NORAD said that he hadn't ruled out extraterrestrial origin for the 3 airborne objects that were shot down. The initial balloon, we know that was made here, right, or made in China. Mm-hmm. But for these other 3, he didn't rule it out. He said he would let the intel community and counterintelligence community figure that out. I haven't ruled out anything. Now, so this goes to the rumor mill, I guess. I want to fast forward down again. I just put these notes in here. So I have a story here. It says, the White House wants you to know that the flying objects Biden shot down weren't space aliens, right? So that's one. That's at least what they're...
Prove that. So like obviously it wasn't space aliens. Like we already knew that. We proved this earlier. For those of you just tuning in, we're watching Sean Cahill and Tim Ventura interview from 5 hours ago. So this is brand new. Please go to Tim Ventura's channel and subscribe to his channel. Please just go here and ring the bell so that you get the notifications. Tim's doing some amazing interviews and he's doing some real good coverage of all this, and he gets a lot more it's a lot more people than I do. So he gets a different crowd of people than I do. So he's a real cool, easygoing guy. So I just want you guys to go and subscribe to Tim Ventura, and also look up Alt Propulsion and APEC conference. Tim also runs the APEC conference and the Alt Propulsion channel, and consider subscribing to those as well. But yeah, we'll continue.
Oh my God, it is cold outside in Canada right now. Like the weather dropped probably at least 20 degrees. No, not 20, 15, 20 with wind chill. I bet easy, actually. Freaking cold. But Tim is absolutely amazing. That's why I rejoined to talk about Tim. And as soon as I get back inside, I will post his link in all of the live chats. And what we've got going on now, Jeremy, is I've got a second stream opened up, restreaming this. So it's now live on my other YouTube channel as well as live on OdySee. And then we can start using it as a back room and inviting others on, and then continue it on afterwards.
Yeah, but you gotta get I gotta get like a multi-stream going. So I gotta do what you could do and set up a couple different computers and just stream to different platforms with each one of them.
Absolutely. as soon as I finish my smoke and freezing my arse off, I will be back inside. And so, yeah, I'm also going to go live on Twitch right now and Twitter. And you're actually already also live on Twitter, which, see, you're already doing what I'm doing. And we should hook up before this stream ends. You will also be hooked up live on your Facebook. And do you have a second smaller YouTube channel under your name?
I do not really. I mean, I have like another channel, but I don't really, it's just whatever. It's just like
perfect. So it is you, and it's not an impostonator, and it's got about less than 1,000 subscribers right now. And that is perfect because of the system I'm going to be setting up, starting with I'm launching the weekend at BurnEye's 48-hour stream on the weekend, where it's a bunch of mixed programming from around the world of already streaming programs that are going to be
set something like that up and just show like some older content, because I got a lot of
exactly. You got it. See, and the older content is a key part of it, and that this weekend, because of Twitter actually, and it was saved on my second backup Twitter account. I believe it's got like only 50 subscribers, but it does have my original 48-hour video stream of the original 48-hour that I did, and it got my original Bernard Conkin YouTube channel taken down because someone used, I believe, whoever does those porn bots came in and exposed themselves on camera for 10 seconds 24 hours into this video, and then like kicked him out immediately, blocked him, continued on for another 24 hours, 18 hours I think, of which I was passed out on a couch. And it was hilarious because Campbell kept coming back into the stream and like checking, and it was like there was still like 20 people like that had been watching from the beginning, still watching, and be like, what are you guys doing? They're like, oh, the dog came in about half hour ago, and just ridiculousness. But point being that it will be a replay video of that original stream, relaunching it again this weekend, and that the Sundays we're going to be doing an all day, like Mike with Faraday there and his batteries, Zadamoto. Myself, I'm going to be doing some coil windings and setting up some of the electrolysis experiments, and we'll be running ongoing tests throughout that 48 hours too, that you set up the live camera at the beginning, and then you keep it going and running throughout the whole time. And yeah, whole bunch of stuff. Tim, freaking epic. And I really do. Tim needs to have Kevin Day back on.
Yeah, he does. Let's we could play that back. I'm just checking out how far up this place is in Northwest Territory, Yukon. Yeah, that is pretty damn far. So to Vancouver, it's 1,127 miles, right? And
see, Vancouver's decently close to me. That's a 10-hour drive from Calgary, where I live, the west coast.
And then if I were to fly in a plane, it's double that. It's 2,500 miles to Boston. So it's about a third.
So let's pull that up on. Can you pull that up on Google Earth right now and like? Let's look at this and check out the weather.
Yeah,
as well. I'm interested.
We'll get back to that thing. So yeah, so this is where I am here in Boston and Providence.
So the closest one to you is one over the Great Lakes, and according to Tim, it was an octagonal shape and had wires hanging down from it, apparently.
Yeah.
That could easily be an escaped well,
it's interesting that people have said the cube within a sphere, but in the patent for that thing, for that cube within a sphere patent, you'll see the balloons, this balloon thing. It's actually not a cube. Cubes have 4 sides to a side. So this is an octagon. So when they say octagonal, is it an octagon? Octagonal?
Double pyramids.
Or is it an like an
hypercube if it's a double? Right, these dimensions.
This is an octahedron. Sorry, this
there
is
you
an
go.
So an octagon is an 8-sided, 2-dimensional shape, right?
Look at number 13 there. That's a fascinating place for a circle and a number.
So this is actually an octahedron. Did anybody say that in this chat? No, nobody got it. All right, cool.
Now we all got it, thanks to Jeremy.
It's an octagon, and I'm like, no, octagon's not right. So what's the difference between the 2-dimensional shape and the 3-dimensional shape? It's the hedron.
The inner or the outer? The
inner
octahedral.
This is an octahedron because actually a cube has the sides of squares, are all squares. So this is triangles on the side.
So that would be how you get the mathematics of the gyroscopic motions within the systems. Those move.
So the idea that these radar reflectors, the balloon was just to carry this thing up and see how it's tied to the inside of the balloon so that it can be, the radar reflector goes inside the balloon. And the later ones, you see the Chinese releasing these things that just look like, let me find the pictures of them. Chinese releasing radar balloons. I think that's the key word you want to say. No.
Those look very...
Yeah, see these things? They actually have just an inflatable balloon, and then they dangle this radar reflector from the balloon. And that turned out to be a better setup than trying to, float the radar reflector inside the balloon. But still, sometimes I think they do the ones with the clear balloon with the radar reflector inside it, just because it looks more suspicious and UFO like, I guess. I don't know, but there is a lot of high-tech balloon stuff, so I wanted to talk about this and get this in perspective, because what do you think about the idea of high-tech balloon stuff being mistaken for UFO technology by an unaware public, and then it being covered up and kind of kept secret with this UFO
they're
thing?
trying to play off like it was the exact opposite. Like everybody could see this thing apparently with your naked eyes, right? Like you didn't even need binoculars while it was going over. Like it literally was like in the sky, visible across America, as it crossed America. And then all of a sudden there's all these other different shaped crazy ones being taken out randomly that we get no images of and just stories of, that just happen consecutively day after day after day all of a sudden.
Yeah, this is part of a chain of some kind of coordinated event, and they might have been different types of aircraft or balloons that had different purposes, and they could have been different shaped balloons. So you think so this said an octagon shaped balloon, is that what he said?
I think this is just psyop at this point.
Nobody, when we were talking about the shape of that balloon, right? Nobody was just pointed out, oh, that's an octahedron right away. So and I'm sure about, probably maybe even half of you knew this because we talked about like, this kind of stuff before, but I just don't think that maybe when he said octagon shaped, he meant octahedron. Is that?
Oh, definitely. That would make sense. Like it's.
And when they said it's an octagon shape.
It's using Victor Schauberger principles, I think, of it, how it's spinning these vortexes within that closed system of the airs and pressure is what I was envisioning looking at all of that.
There's no picture of that, but say it is in fact an octagon, right? So this one was just sorry, I wanted just an octagon. So an octagon has 8 sides, and this would be, if say it's an array that you wanted to suspend from a balloon. So I built like each one of these out of trusses, carbon fiber trusses like that other system, and I just connected them in an octagon pattern instead of the dipole kind of arrangement that they had with the two things that were hanging from the one that they shot down over South Carolina, the first one that they shot down. So say that we had an array like this, and you put some sensors on each one of these going around, that would be these sort of laser scanners, because this is what was seen from the sky and photographed over Hawaii just yesterday.
What?
So
just yesterday.
So a spy satellite was doing. I don't know if this is. I think this might be a time. Like a long-term exposure. So this thing might have been the satellite been doing passes.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Just that's a satellite going over, a balloon going over, and taking these beaming down, sensing things.
I don't have time. I don't have information on this photograph, but yeah, I would love to know the photographer, the location, the camera that was used, and the exposure, rates, because that would help a lot with, understanding what we're looking at here. And it almost looks like a long-term exposure because of how faded out everything else is.
Is this American? Is this Chinese? Is it going like? But I had this thought that it was like, did they just catch a bunch of like random Chinese spy drones in Ukraine and then like bring them over and just be like, all right, let's like just release them all up and shoot them down in one day and give them a little testy. Who knows?
There's a video of this.
Just kidding. Simulated reality. It is all just a matrix of simulation. LARPing along.
Does it feel fake to you?
It I believe that a Chinese weather balloon / probably spy balloon that we probably send the same over blew out of the way and crossed America where everybody saw it, and then they shot it down, and we saw actual like Americans filming the F-22s going up, blowing it up, and be like, "That's my America." Did we see that for number 2, number 3, and supposedly number 4 now? Not at all. But the one that was over the Great Lakes, why was that not seen? Or was it? Like, how come there's no footage? That's like right in the middle of America and Canada.
You gotta know, like, number one, if it was a UFO, if it was an alien spaceship or a Bracewell probe, or one of these things.
Well, so here's the thing: the further north ones, maybe, and that according to Tim, that's the one that was of spherical shape, and the pilots recorded saying that the craft interacted with their sensors, and that like, right, like, so that, and that's way the F out there, like, who knows? But then,
so bear with me for 1 minute. In the middle,
I'm just saying that one alone. I'm saying like, why didn't anybody see anything in the middle of Canada, America, Great Lakes?
Balloon raid. What was actually happening is that the aliens were coming down to prevent World War III from happening, and they went to
That
the most
I believe
nation and the most beloved leader on the planet to go meet with Mr. Trudeau in Canada, and the U.S. and violently shot the aliens down over Canadian territory, and now it's like World War IV. I mean, it's like 3 and 4 and 1 because
fourth dimensional.
Not only do we're starting war with the Chinese, we're now starting war with the damn aliens.
And blame Canada. Blame Canada comes down to
what, Canada. A, yeah, that's it. It looks like I say AHEH. I thought it was this. This is the proper spelling. Dude,
this is only because of how far north I live geographically and nothing to do with political affiliations. It's because it's cold outside.
See, yeah, I know you had one. That's the thing. I wore it on purpose because I know these things. I know how it gets in Canada. It gets like sometimes we get that cold air that blows down here some of the time, so we get a taste of it every now and again.
Yeah. Okay. So that is actually a thing. And I've noticed more and more over the last few years, the weather patterns, like this year has been extremely warm in Western Alberta and the West. That usually it's like -20, -30 degrees Celsius, like on average 3 out of 4 weeks of January and February. It's freaking horrible. Like one time in February listen to this. One time at the end of February,
about the planet's oceans boiling away. I don't want to. It's too depressing.
No, this is a new theory. This is like the winds, and that it's like extremely warm on one end, and then it's polar opposite cold on the other end, west to east, and that it's alternating back and forth. Like the east is freaking absolutely frozen this winter for extremely long periods of time, where it's not nearly like that, and the west is really warm. And then it's not like a slow transition over. It's just like boom, over like the period of a day, all of a sudden it switches. And it's
China, this is crazy because China is a growing nation, has massive energy needs right now. They were building 10 nuclear power plants, a whole system of nuclear power over there. And that was causing all kinds of concerns with the nuclear community because of like the Chinese's notorious safety record.
How many? Sorry, I have to pause. How many nuclear accidents has China had?
I don't know about accidents, but they've had their rate of industrial accidents in general is it's probably a lot higher than even what's reported, which is still and the Chinese have a habit of like they want to do everything themselves, so they try to they steal, copy, and they have absolutely no concern for international patent laws at all. And it's pretty funny. I'm sorry, I'm reading the chat too. Anyways, China is planning to build 43 new coal power plants on top of the 1,000 plants they already have in operation. And so I guess there's a lot of needs in China, but there's a lot of worry about what we're doing to the atmosphere in the world, which is a real thing we should be concerned about, and future the mess that we're leaving for future generations is just the history
of a catastrophe that needs to reverse if we have any hope of not completely collapsing ourselves all over again. And how many times do you think humanity has wiped itself out or been wiped out by something?
The amount of natural disasters and spills, so environmental disasters, we talk about what happened in Ohio, right? and how it's not being
like,
reported.
what is going on there right now? Can we check, like, see the radar on that, like, fire or pollution?
There's something called Superfund sites, and it's interesting when you look this up, because this is every time there's one of these events, there gets to be another point on this map. Okay. So what happened in Ohio is just is actually, you know, the media is not reporting that, but you know, they don't teach you this in school either, right? Because a lot of these things are right in your backyard, and especially if you live where I grew up, there's more of them than you can even realize. Like you realize, oh well, that place that we drive by, that's just this old factory that's all fenced off and you can't go in there. Oh, that's that place.
My grandma told me about that one because it almost like wiped them out, like at one point. I remember.
Uh-huh.
The rest I did not know about. That's a lot of.
Yep. See, we're in the red, right? Yeah, we're in Massachusetts. Yeah, that's where I grew up, southeastern Mass. It's like hub central, all from there to Boston and everything. It's all like a giant Superfund site, or just glue, you know, old horse glue factories that burnt down. That was the one, a shoe glue factory, a shoe factory.
Okay, so it's not like these are fires as well, not necessarily all radiation or.
Well, it's just places where it's contaminated soil. You know, an environmental disaster. It's basically, these are environmental disaster sites that are just like too expensive to clean up, so they just kind of cover them over and try to isolate them, you know, and make sure the groundwater, they put plastic over them, so, you know, put them in pot. A lot of times they'll like go and clean everything up on the topsoil and put it in a big pile, and then put like tarps and stuff over it so that the water wash it into the ground soil and stuff
and
like
then
that.
cover it, and then like oh, that'd create even worse reactions ongoing afterwards.
These are Superfund sites. So yeah, this is what I'm talking about with what happened in Ohio, because yeah, they don't teach you about that stuff at school, and what happened in Ohio. This chemical spill, all that goes into the ground, and who knows if they clean it up, and then it goes into the air too. It's all going to the air. So yeah, this is a massive disaster.
God, because I see that, and then I just thought, like, what about Ukraine's? Because it's like first you have Chernobyl, and then could not imagine with the war right now. Like, oh, we've got one really bad one. It's like.
Oh, that's pretty horrific, and I just can't believe, like, having to clean. You have to clean that up, and you'd have, you know, like, oh.
That looks like all of the movies where all of a sudden an alien or very mutated monsters come out of, and
it's like they have to just take all that soil and dig it up, put it in a big pile over here, and then disassemble all these trains, and then, you know, use that to cover the whole site, or reach these are all going to have to get cleaned up and then washed and sent to a recycling plant. That's just I can't believe the work that's going to have to, how much I would charge as a contractor for a job like that. It's in the millions.
That's why I'm really fascinated about the potential of the polluting with the different monatomic stuff. We gotta have Bob Grenier on for you to talk to him about that stuff in depth.
Oh, so they gave out some money though for the people, because there's a bunch of people suing, of course. Yeah. It's not impacting the river. It's not going in the water supply. It looks like it's in a pretty isolated area. Let's see if we can find See if you can find that in the coordinates on Google Earth. It's in East Palestine, Ohio. Anyone from Ohio and knows the actual location of this, let me know. We can find it.
So why is it so bad? Like it's just really, really toxic mixture of stuff.
Well, yeah, we read off what it was. It was
At the beginning, yeah.
It's a bunch of not ethylene, ethyl hexyl acrylate.
Yeah. Oh God, right? Like that's carcinogen stuff right there.
What the hell did they use ethyl hexyl acrylate for? You know. What do I need a tank? What do I need a train car full of hexyl ethyl acrylate? With a pleasant odor. Using cellulose, so the properties, it polymerizes easily. So
polymer.
So what is it? Used for making polymers?
Interesting.
Modified by additives or stabilizers. So the acrylate major base monomers for the preparation of acrylate adhesives.
We could be building some nice stones with that.
Acrylate adhesives. So what makes those specific? So this is again glue. This is like
some sort of mixture for
there's a super fun site that I looked up the street, and it was a glue factory that burned down. So this is like chemicals for making glue.
Oh.
Same kind of crap. Yeah, this is going in the soil forever. Oh, this is like terrible, bro. This is like the hazards of this stuff, and people like, I don't know who's. They're not paying people well enough to so like guys like depressed because he's like, my paycheck hasn't gone up with the price of eggs.
Polyvin chloride.
Ooh, I don't know what the heck is. Yeah. So yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the groundwater table is what's really the issue, right. And then everything is poisoned. Just more glue.
It's like acrylics. Yeah, so it's acrylate. It's acrylic. It's acrylic glue. So like you know that you ever have that stuff for the girls use to make their nails and it's an acrylic adhesive that they glue those fake nails on. Look.
Oh my God, that is why this is the biggest catastrophe of North America. If the women of North America are not able to get their adhesive to get their eyelashes done, they are going to
they will not be able
to get their nails done and stuff. Oh man,
and it will be
absolute anarchy.
Oh my God, what are we going to do?
I already know, Amber. It'll just
be Jewish mothers everywhere freaking out.
Oh goodness!
Out their nails, you know it.
Just God, yes, Charlie. We have to have Charlie on. Charlie will be on this weekend, definitely at some time, and he's
all the frogs in that frog pond turned straight because the woman had such nice nails after the chemical spill. Jesus.
Oh, goodness.
All right. Yeah, no, we're just being stupid. All right. I try to make it entertaining, man, because you have to.
It is though. So I just why it just goes to propaganda. Why was that called so horrible if it's some glue stuff?
No, whatever.
If it's gonna polymerize, and just doesn't that mean it just reacts with what is the other chemical? I think limestone of some sort that it bonds with and has that chemical reaction, and then polymerizes and hardens. And
polymers just mean it makes chain. It can form these chemical chains or bonds, easily. So it high temperature. It's a liquid, right? And it's malleable. It's malleable with plastic. So they take this base stuff, which is all the loose. It's just composite, all loose particles. Then they heat it up, and they injection mold it. This is how plastic polymers work. And they injection mold it, and it forms these bonds. In the when you cools back down from that heated state, it actually creates these chains really easily. Because the valence bonds are easily exchangeable or interchangeable on the polymer molecule.
I think it's called scoliola. Scoliola, maybe. It's a type of geopolymer reaction. Paul Cook goes in depth about it, but it's the geopolymer that they make the granite style materials out of.
Right. So yeah, this is true for any kind of, like, silicon will work will work the same pretty much as the carbon.
Paul, this has been a while since I heard acid rain. Good to see you. Odysee.
So are very similar. Yeah, scoliosis. Yeah, well, if you carry enough granite on your back, you'll probably get scoliosis. I probably have it from all the freaking tile I carry. Crap. Anyways, the granite and the concrete and these polymers. Yeah. Well, I don't know about. I know, like, I've seen a power line fall on concrete, or with the damage that it can do to concrete. So let's look up a video of power arcing through concrete, just so we can see.
Oh, right. I gotta
because you can actually arc welding is a real thing, and when you have metal, and you have like an arc where it creates a really high temperature spark. The temperature is so hot that it can melt the metal, and it's a method of welding. It's also used for refining metals and stuff. But where were we just going with this? The idea,
the train of it. Oops.
All right.
There we go. Sorry, I went to the wrong. Was on the wrong StreamYard page there for a second. We were talking about how the train.
Concrete. I wanted to see
So it was a train just full of those two materials, just this geopolymer stuff. It's a lot of glue.
But I want to see, like, because I know it does through asphalt, and some stones can actually melt and re-solidify, but it takes, in order to create a lot of these rocks and granite and stuff in nature, it requires very, very high pressure, like those when you have to create when they create the artificial diamonds.
So here's the difference between this technology and what makes this geopolymer so important is that it's a chemical reaction, not that gives that essential heat energy reaction in that exchange of chemical reaction out of it, that it becomes metamorphic as opposed to sedimentary reaction with these nanomaterials. And then when you put in the ground up granite in with this stuff, it will bond with it. And especially with the limestone, it will bond with it, and then solidify at a much harder, denser level than regular concrete. Or
interesting. Yeah, looking up like Roman concrete, and they made it from Vesuvius ash. which is very, very finely powdered
It's
nano
all these
material.
nanos, yeah, the nanomaterials, these bonding agents within it.
Yeah.
I'll have to have Paul Cook on for you, so he can go. We'll go
So
and do a full episode on all his research and work.
We're doing a show tomorrow night with Zertis.
And Dutch Since and Dutch, do you know Dutch likes work and stuff? All his earthquake forecasting and everything.
Earthquake forecasting, huh?
Jeremy, it's like a match made in heaven. Like you don't even know, like how much of a good time. That is your new best friend. Just an absolute genius, and the intelligence on him and technology and how to put this right, just what Dutch has come up with and the conversation you're gonna have. Come on. We're gonna break the internet. So just like it broke my brain.
There, like, did he like? You can go back and check his tweets, and he's like, "Yo, there's gonna be an earthquake, tomorrow."
So he does a daily, pretty much daily YouTube stream going over his forecast updates and a once a week overall forecast for the upcoming next week. And it's like this guy's got like a 96% accuracy. What?
I want to see him.
I don't know what that's. So isn't that hilarious? One of that has got to be done by like some sort of CIA. Like there's zero pictures of Mike's face, and that the actual one
we got all the CIA agents, and we'll let them the whole agency have at him in the live chat, and people can ask their questions on Twitter.
Oh God, you don't even know. They cut off his power to his house 122 times it was up to now, trying to prevent him from streaming it's insane. Like you don't know his story. Your mind is about to be blown tomorrow. You're gonna become best friends.
Well, I hope not too much, because I'm gonna have if I gotta some of these guys I'm just like
no. He is on your level of
I hope so, man. I just I wait for the flat earthers and chemtrails.
He is not a woo-woo sort of guy. He is from
you gotta understand me, man. All right. Well, I don't know nothing about him, dude. If he's legit, I got some people. We got haters.
Have a great time. You're gonna absolutely love it.
Oh, hey, I got my haters too. And if I was just gonna listen to other people's opinions of people, I wouldn't. You probably wouldn't go for a guy like me, because it's just I piss everybody off. Because
you're gonna love him. Yeah, it's gonna be a great time.
Yo, dude, should I call? I gotta call up the Solar Marshal.
Yeah. What's Dan up to?
Oh God, I'm gonna send him a link right now.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, shit. See, I am a Canadian stoner. I effed that one up. I was supposed to post the StreamYard link to the second stream that we had going and run it as a back room the entire time. And the next time for the weekend at BurnEye's 48-hour multi-stream that I'm doing, there'll be 2 StreamYard rooms going simultaneously. One's going to be like the back room, but it will also be you'll be able to a group of people having it live on their channels. Whoever joins in can also make it go live on theirs as well, and then the main room as well. Aliens are here yet? I think they've always been here, but Maybe they're us. Maybe they think we're stupid. Maybe they're not. I don't know. Dutch though.
Paul Cook on.
Yeah, Paul as well, man. Paul is great. Paul goes a lot of megalithic exploring, cave exploring, on the ground.
Well, I judge the man by his information, and we'll take it one. I just
exactly.
Hope
that's just hilarious that's up there. Like I think they maybe talked once, and I know they definitely don't have beef. That's what just makes me laugh so much about that. It's funny. And like that picture is so old that he used that once as a profile like 10 years ago, and then like never put out a picture of him again.
I want more graphics editors to make like the.
Yes, so that's I'm glad you brought that up. You reminded me of some important things. I've been editing now more, and I'm also actually finally got myself some editing equipment, but extra editing to start doing the thumbnails properly and not the ghetto ass ones that I've been doing with ridiculously blurry stuff. Anywho, yes, I'm going to be putting a lot more time and work into those. Speaking of the devil, there's Solar Marsh. Post it. We should just open it right now.
I want the exact location of this this UFO that was shot down in Canada.
Yeah, No, how about the one over the Great Lakes? Like that. This is Did anybody see planes flying over and shooting the one down over the Great Lakes? That's what I would like to know. Because obviously nobody saw the other 2 or 3 that happened in Northwest.
Is this real? Is China really warning us of retaliation for shooting down their balloons?
Lake Huron. Thank you. So
small metallic balloon with a tethered payload below it. That's what they said that this one in Canada was. So, they held out as long as possible to tell us it was a balloon. Like I said. Oh, look at Kirby insisting that it was not a political move. Yeah, right, dude. Oh, God, this is going to blow up in their face, dude. Hilarious.
Right at a time that Hunter Biden starts suing people for using the laptop stuff because it is his laptop.
What's that link? What's that StreamYard link you just posted?
Well, see, I did.
That's not the one to
No, that's the back room. So, hold on, Dan. Hello. Yes.
Wow.
Now he should. Now, can you hear him now, Jeremy?
No. Oh, did you see this? White House press secretary.
No, there's a new link.
I'm gonna watch now. I'm gonna watch this.
New. Jeremy cannot.
Was this the full briefing? Yeah, this is it. All right, I'm gonna.
Yes, I can. Hold on one sec. Dan, I gotta send you another link.
White House. I know there have been questions and concerns about this, but there is no indication of aliens or extraterrestrial activity with these recent takedowns. Again, there is no indication of aliens or terrestrial activity with these takedowns. Wanted to make sure that the American people knew that, all of you knew that, and it was important for us to say that from here because we've been hearing a lot about it. I'm not.
Would you tell us?
I'm just, I loved E.T. the movie, but I'm just going to leave it there. I just wanted to make sure we address this from the White House. I know there have been questions and concerns about this, but there is no indication of aliens or extraterrestrial activity with these recent takedowns.
And that's at least what
they're just making fun of the community. It's so like stupid, dude, the way the media handles
Dan,
it.
rejoin with the links that Jeremy
I have
posted
a quote here
again.
from Dr. Mark Rodinger, who said the fact that the military could shoot down the object and that it wasn't doing crazy maneuvers makes it unlikely that it was extraterrestrial or super unusual. And he'd said, in the history of the UFO topic, we've never been successful in trying to shoot down a UFO, a real UFO. And by that he meant extraterrestrial craft. So yeah,
stay away from the rumor mill on that one. And I mean, and even leaving Roswell and again,
now we got
that and aside, I can see where that would placate a mainstream audience with its wisdom. But the fact is that the Italians revealed to the ATIP program and to Luis Elizondo that they had managed to strike a UAP with depleted uranium rounds, and that UAP had then in turn fired on their aircraft. That was released during the Unidentified, I believe, at the end of season 1 on History Channel that we were.
The Italians hit a UAP?
Now, we don't have many other reports.
Never heard of that. You're muted.
Yeah, sorry about
that.
What
decade was that? What decade was that? When did they?
Said that was Lou Elizondo said that, or
said the Italians used their depleted uranium round.
That was the end of season 1, right? That was the end. That was about the Italians that had shot at that UFO. That
should be everywhere.
So this
wasn't it
from
from
the last like 2 decades? Then probably, hey.
Has to be. They're calling it a UAP.
Well, they've just all changed.
Not cool anymore.
If they're talking media, they're using the term UAP. It's a government agent word. It's a government agent.
Notice how the White House had to make it a joke right away. They had to make the entire crowd laugh. It's not funny at all to me. This is not funny. It's been building up for a very long time. I hate it when they make a joke out of shooting the stuff down. Yes, they didn't need to use a $4 million round to take down a balloon, but that balloon was sucking up all kinds of signal information.
Right?
That's what that was all about. But it's like dangerous. There's a guy named Mike Glover who is a career Army 82nd Airborne guy who's a Ranger, and then he went to work for the CIA. If you look up Mike Glover and how he explains it, I can drop the video link in there. Man, he nails it. He's like, this is all about signal intelligence. This has nothing to do with them taking photographs. Everybody thinks that a satellite has to do with taking photographs. No. Alaska's got an incredible amount of military bases up there. Places like Montana and all them places that thing was flying all over the place at. It's nuclear warheads and stuff. And guess who gets all the intelligence for Russia? China absorbs all that, the intelligence, and Russia gets that information from them. So who are we 9 minutes away on the war clock from going to war with? Russia. Look at the war clock once right now, Jeremy. Very interesting.
Yeah.
It's at 9 minutes. It might have went down since then. I mean, it might have gotten closer. It might be at like 6 minutes. We're like an inch away from World War III, and people are just walking around, don't care. It's crazy.
There are a bunch of them that are, I think they're all equipped with that DRFM technology, the digital radio frequency memory, where they're recording all the RF and radio signals and keeping track of them.
It's about signals. That's why they're using a balloon.
No.
And it also makes us look like we could have just used like a $10 round to take that balloon down, but we wanted to show off.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Like a $10 round. Like literally those F-22s, all of those jets have the freaking shot, like the machine gun at the front. What, like
I don't know about the Raptor.
5 bullets through would have just torn that balloon to shit. That would have cost what, $50 plus the gas up there.
Imagine that guy flying that thing for the National Guard. He was itching to just use that thing. And
see,
the F-22.
I want the dude that took the balloon up in the Red Bull and then parachuted out. I want him with the Stinger rocket to go up and fucking take
Jeremy
that thing
saw what
out.
I wrote. How ridiculous!
Red Bull will sponsor it.
Did you guys actually watch what the questions that were asked at the White House the other day? They wanted to know if there was a guy in the They wanted to know if there was a guy in the balloon flying it around. And like I forget how high it was in the air. His head would have exploded. I mean, some of the questions those people asked made me think, man, we're doomed, man, when we get older. Oh, my God. Remember, Jeremy, you were on the phone. I'm just like,
older. No, Seymour Hersh's freaking publishment.
They flew from China to here in the jet stream, man. I mean, come on.
they yeah, right? Like, exactly.
Cahill's like some kind of like, he's very intelligent, but he's also involved in he's making money off this whole thing. This has become a business for him. If you look it up, he's got yoga stuff and all kind of weird stuff going. He's getting paid out of all this. He's getting paid. He's very smart. I'll give it to him. I'm glad Tim had him on. I had no clue you guys had access to these people.
There's nothing wrong with getting paid.
No, I agree. There's nothing wrong with getting paid. You need to have
Ryan Graves.
Ryan Graves saw the East Coast stuff. He didn't see any West Coast stuff. You got to understand something. Ryan Graves is the guy that was the cylinder or the sphere within a cube, which I'm not so sure it wasn't a balloon, but he claims the thing was flying all over the freaking place, man. So it couldn't be a balloon if it was doing that now, can it? No. I like the Tic-Tac story. What do you guys believe on it? Let's talk
Which one was moving all over the place?
Ryan Graves is the East Coast guy. So I just find it very strange that all these vehicles. Here's the whole thing about the whole thing. You've got Norfolk, Virginia on the East Coast. You have on the West Coast. You have Jesus God, I only talk Coronado, California over there.
Yeah, you
also have Whidbey Island up there in Washington State. Thing is, don't you guys find it awful strange that this stuff keeps happening on the test waters of the Navy, on the test waters of the East Coast, Norfolk, Dam Neck? The SEALs are all there at each place. It's where the two main naval bases are in the United States. Then you go to Alaska. That's a totally different entity. It's like its own country. There's an incredible amount of stuff going on up there. We've got Army, Navy, all that stuff up there. Now, what's up there? What do they want to see? So you got to ask yourself something. Is the Tic-Tac another country? Or is the Tic-Tac us? Or is it aliens? What is it, guys? What Commander?
I think the projected laser.
If I take a laser pointer and I point that thing, right? I start pointing at Bernie, and I start pointing. Guess what I can do with that laser? If I'm at a fixated point and I can make it look like it has a radar cross section at, let's say, 20 miles away, I can take and go woo like that and point it straight up to the sky in a second, and it'll make it look like it traveled that far into the sky in a second. I can also take it and make it look like it went in the water, and it won't splash either. Now, the only thing that's strange is the disturbance in the water that it caused, the whitewash, because that's what supposedly caused it. Is that a byproduct?
I'm going to have to get off here.
Okay.
In a little bit here. I'm going to end the broadcast, and we can just talk backstage. I don't know. I have to.
I know. We can do a show. We ought to do a show, man. Let's do it. I'm off work for another week.
And hold on. We'll end it on your channel, and I'll add my Rumble on. And we'll keep on going on there for a little bit.
All right, I'm going to drop out, though.
We're at the Alchemist. I'll come on with you, bro. I'm up for a while, man. Jeremy, are you really doing a show tomorrow night? Because by tomorrow night, we should have more info. We should have I want to know what's going on up in Alaska. They're already saying that they can't get to it because it's up above Dead Horse. You think it's cold where you're at, Bernie?
Why would they shoot it down up there? Well, it's got to be something if they shot down up there. And
Dead Horse is
Tim
above
pointed out the
all that. We can go over all that area. I know that area pretty well. Dead
oh,
Horse. There's an oil. There's an oil place up there, man, where they dig deep underground for oil up in Dead Horse. That's where the Ice Road truckers go. The Ice Road truckers go up to Dead Horse. Did you ever see the show Ice Road?
Call me tomorrow, Dan. And yeah, that they mentioned that in the Wikipedia article of Dead Horse.
Oh, did they? That's what I know about Dead Horse because of that. I so love that.
It says
show.
it was also in like some episode 16 of the X-Files too.
Dead Horse isn't that interesting?
Yeah, that's weird. It was an episode. In the episode, it was about a sub that got scanned by some UFO with like lasers and stuff. It was pretty weird.
Episode 16 of X-Files.
Yeah,
there's
on
a
the
lot
Wikipedia
of
article.
disclosure.
All right, I gotta go, guys. I'll catch you on the flip side. And Dan, call me tomorrow. We'll get more
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Do I just hang on here? All right, Jeremy.
Yes. Yeah, you already did. All right, cool.
Okay,
All right,
cool.
we still are.
It's been a while, brother. How is everybody, by the way? By the way, I need to go to your channel, now, which is The Alchemist. I have you on here.
Yes, and hold on, we got to go back. Yeah, so
can you send me a link in the private chat so I can just go right over to your channel so I can watch what's going on?
You got it.
Oh, I feel like I need to put my mask
on.
Got my Germany hat on. Yeah. My
I'm like, oh my god, I just put on a Soviet hat. What was I thinking? The CIA are now going to kill me. Or the CSIS. More likely CSIS. More like Christine. Oh, I'm still alive. Fuck.
It's been a while since we talked, man. I went to work. Hang on a minute. I'm just going to set my camera up for a second. No, and that's not a flat Earth, by the way. That is, in fact, that is a picture.
It is, in fact, a garbage can Earth. We are garbage can Earth. That is how we roll. I am garbage can.
I got accused of being.
It is both flat and spherical at the same time. It is garbage can Earth.
I do love arguing with the flat Earth.
So private chat, Dan.
Okay,
I know. See, it's hilarious. Both because I make absolutely everybody a moderator, so nobody can block each other. And then it's like has to tolerate everybody.
It's on Jeremy's, and then when you switch over, I don't know why. I just never.
Private chat. Here's the link in
the morning. I have to go to bed, bro. It's normally a thing where it's logistics, right? Get some sleep, bro. Not tonight, though. I don't work tomorrow, so we're good.
Very nice.
Let's talk ufology. Let's talk about what's up. Let's talk about the State of the Union.
Absolutely. Dan, in the private chat, click the private chat link so we can go over to the other one.
Okay.
Because we're live on the other one, and then also we open it up. Or actually, yes, that's how we should do it. Sorry,
right now. I'm into the other right now.
Oh, you're going into the other one? All right, we're good.
Well, you just asked me to do, or should I?
And then we go like this, and we go like.
Hold on, bro. Hold on. I'm entering the studio double. I don't understand where you're going. Do you see me?
There we go. And then we go like this. And then we go like Jenny had to go. Yeah.
Every day. Stay on this.
Well, I wanted to tell him something. I call from overseas. They're doing a shadow and media. Iran has a nuclear base that they exploded a nuclear bomb on a fault line, and the thing is called Eagle 44. Nobody knows about this. This was a special call that I got from.
Where are you at, or can't you say?
Oh, I don't care. I'm in Houston.
Oh, okay. I thought you were getting ready to say you're in Iran. I was going to say, don't say that.
But nobody's covering this media. This is somebody from overseas that told me about it. But aliens show up when there's a nuclear.
Eagle 44, you stated it's called?
I'm sorry?
You said it was called Eagle 44?
Yes. It was search it. I tried to search it. I found like bits and pieces of information.
You got to understand something. That's going to be really, you're going to find so much stuff under Eagle 44. It's going to be unbelievable.
Yeah,
it's
but put Iran, Iraq border. This happened just like a day before the earthquake. So, a couple of things. One, it could have hit like a fault line and caused the earthquake. Two, aliens are showing up. They only show up when there's a nuclear blast. So,
well, wow.
FYI.
Good point. I've always wondered that the nukes and UFOs thing is a huge thing. I know a guy was writing a book about that and it died in the middle of it, but he was old.
That I just like today, like this morning, I received this information. So, no.
Pretty cool. Where are you? You're in Houston, huh?
Yes.
You sound like you'd be a lot of fun to hang out with. People with information like that, that's wild stuff,
I'm just got to do some digging.
Right now, I'm in South America. Right now, I'm in the South Pole. Believe it or not, I'm in Antarctica. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not in Antarctica.
Probably.
In my mind, I am. I pretend I'm not. And the world doesn't.
I gotta have Eric back on. Good old Eric Hecker. Spent a year at the Antarctic pole.
Oh, Eric Heckert's awesome. I love Eric, man. Yeah. Actually, he hasn't done it. A lot of his shows he does, John Warner has it. He's John Warner on there all the time. Pretty good stuff, But Eric Hecker, get him on. He's awesome, man. He's one of my buddies, man. Yes, the South Pole guy. He lived down there for a while.
Yeah. Now he lives back in Alaska.
Yep, South Pole Station. He did 1 year down there straight.
What we should really be talking about how to get Antic activated.
I was going to try to get
where's
the
South
Pole Station electrician, but
I wasn't paying attention. I will be
there's
back.
so many people that applied just to do the job that the pay is so degraded because of so many people want to be there. You got to dedicate at least 6 months of your life. I'd do the whole year, I think, because it wouldn't be a big deal for me to be isolated. Some people can't handle isolation. I can. I love it. Yeah, Eric Heckert's show is called Deciphering My. Hang on here. Eric Heckert, he's awesome.
Deciphering My Experience. Shout out.
Yeah, him and I are friends on Facebook. I can message him if you'd like. Here it is, Eric J. Hecker.
See if he's available. Why not?
Here, I'm going to send you in a private chat. Check him out. You message him. Okay. Private chat. Right here's his book.
I've got his email. I'll go outside right now. I'm going to email him. I'm going to email Den, and I'm going to email Matt Rice.
He's 3 hours behind. He's probably awake. He stays up very late. I'm going to message him right now.
Let's both message them. Let's live bomb Eric Hecker to get on here. Let's heckle Hecker to get on here.
We want you on the show.
So where are you located?
I'm in Pennsylvania.
Nice. And the weather is so cold in Houston, like it's in the 40s. Like I'm freezing, and
we had 50s, almost in 60 around. It gets cold down where you're at.
Yeah, I gotta move south at some point. Canada, at least for the winter.
Eric.
I want to get a bus and like drive it and pick up all the friends to one place and just have like fun for like a weekend or so, and build.
If I was anywhere near Houston, that would be fun. Seemed like you cool to hang around.
Oh, I want to build a grab a flyer. I so want to build
Right.
that thing.
Jay,
A gravity flyer?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I would go up to New Jersey to be a part of this thing, but they still haven't gotten it right.
Right, I know. There's like 6
Yeah.
of them each with their own, and it's like, come on. I think Charlie's almost got it. Fuck, I gotta send Charlie.
Yeah, Eric's
Fuck.
gotten my message. I don't know if he's seen it or not. It's his kind. I mean, you got to remember, actually, he's up in Alaska, so he's like, I don't know how many hours behind. He's got to be a minimum of 3.
Well, one.
I know he stays up. I've seen Eric do a live show at like 4 o'clock in the morning already. He's just depends on what he's got going on.
Exactly.
For me, my kids are asleep. Everything's
It's
calm.
got to be brutal up there right now. He's showing some of the stuff he's done 6 days ago. He has to make roads get in and out of property. He actually's from New York.
This year.
5 years ago.
Dumping up there. This year it's dumping, eh? And
yeah, he would be the
pyramids of Alaska. I've seen the
dude Mount
two or three times where they went on them.
Base.
Yeah, the pyramid of Alaska's got a fence around it.
Have you guys ever looked into Mount Hayes and what's going on up there, man? It's very interesting. That's all I'm gonna say. Mount Hayes, Alaska is supposed to be an alien base. There were remote viewers that hit on it years back, and when I say hit on it, it was remote viewers that had no clue who the other ones were. And the one guy, I'm trying to remember his name because I used to have all this stuff memorized, but I stopped doing the UFO thing a while back and just got tired of it. Let me see here when I pull this story up.
For me, I got attracted to this, channel. All my life, I've had something that, happens around me, and I cannot explain it.
Right.
And then, I
Abducted.
started researching, and somehow I stumbled upon APEC and the alien scientists.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It started making sense, and it just now
the scientific end of everything is what happened, huh?
Well, no, I mean, literally these things, follow me everywhere. I've got videos, I've got, I could go outside at any minute, and if I flicker a light, they flicker back.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I could talk to these things on a telepathic way and respond, and they respond. That's the funny thing. It's just, but I have, I cannot explain it. They appear in light beams, and they turn into cats. So you see a light beam, and all of a sudden a cat.
Oh, you're involved in the cat type ETs. Did you ever hear about the UFO going down over Russia that had cat type and feline type individuals on there, or feline type aliens?
What I think is they need a host. And if they cannot overpower a human host, the next best thing is an animal. And so,
yeah,
I mean, this has happened at least a little over 100 times. So I have really good, profound numbers on repetition of this. I don't know what you call it, but it happens. And
Mount Hayes is right near where. Wow, Mount Hayes is right near where that one UFO was shot down. It's very.
I'll tell you, Mount Hayes is creepy as all get out.
It is. Did you hear about the guy that went missing in 2005? His friend and him were there. His friend and him were there. They were climbing the mountain, right? His friend looks up and sees a UFO. And he's up. He's scaling Mount Hayes. He comes back down, and his buddy's gone. His buddy's not in the tent. They never found his friend. His friend disappeared permanently. It's a true story. You can look it up. And
it's like a
UFO. And the guys went up there and had a camera on Mount Hayes for a couple days, and they saw a UFO that literally went down into the ground, and literally there was the spot where it went into the ground that was filled with tungsten and all kinds of weird stuff.
Yeah.
There was, I think it was 40 feet. The impression went down into the snow by like 20 feet, shaped just like a UFO. They have film footage of it and everything. It's very strange. I contacted these
You're
guys.
connecting the a lot of dots.
Where it wasn't. What's that?
You're connecting a lot of dots for me.
Yeah,
I
want to send you the YouTube. There's a YouTube video where these guys, I asked them, I said, is this just done for TV? Because sometimes stuff's done for TV, and these guys are investigators. They claim no. So let me show you this.
Well, like it's like that hypnosis regression.
As long as it's like a
movie
copyrighted
the third kind,
yeah, let's play that.
and it was that's
Well, the whole thing is here's the part of the show. They talk about the mountain climber. His name and everything is in the news. Here is the link. I will post it in the chat. Been played to other people where share this also that they filmed. It's awesome stuff. Nobody pays attention to this stuff.
Is that the same mountain that they found that shiny monolith? Like that?
I don't think there's a monolith found there, but this is incredible. This space, this spot I'm talking to you about right here. This is where the kid went missing. This is a spot where in the 70s there was major activity where remote viewers were hitting on this and saying, "I'm being drawn to this. There's an alien base here, and UFOs are nothing." The one guy's name was Pat Price. Couldn't remember his name. He was like,
oh yeah,
one. He was
most certainly going to get
number one
for that.
Yeah,
he hit on it. Mount Hayes, the Japan airline flight. I can't remember the
History Channel link.
Japan Air was right above that spot when they seen that massive UFO that flew over. It had two smaller UFOs that come out. One of the best UFO cases ever. And then the White House got involved and everything. Yeah, this thing was like 17 times 20 times the size of a 757. It was massive, and guess what? It was like right above Mount Hayes. Yeah. Check out play that video and show that right there. It's 1 minute 57 seconds.
It's Dan, I can't. It's a History Channel link. As soon as I play it, you take down the whole.
You can put the link out there for some people to watch it themselves. Maybe you can play the audio. All I know is this guy went missing. The whole actual video is what you want to use. Missing in Alaska.
Oh and, I've watched that.
They showed the entire let me see, Michigan and Alaska. Yeah, here's the entire episode if you want to post it so people can get an idea. All you gotta do is just post the link. They can watch it on their own. That's all you can have or show for or whatever. Here you go. I just find it very interesting that there's stuff going on over Alaska all of a sudden.
Yeah. I want to go to that area between Alaska and Russia. You know that there's a space like a
peninsula.
There's like there's two islands and there's only 2.5 miles between them, and usually that area is ice. You could like walk across that.
The Bering Strait.
Yeah, and that what determines the time zone for the whole world. So if you go there and you
your crab grounds up there.
No, you could mess up the whole time for like the
part between let's see, Alaska and and you know what? I know you're gonna think I'm nuts when I say this, but that part of British Columbia, Canada, is freaking known for Bigfoot sightings.
Oh yeah,
it really is.
It's that shit. They live in the Rockies. There's no about it. Those motherfuckers live in the Rockies. Like when you experience the freak,
I believe it
because the freak of one of them, Like I just got the shivers again. You get the shivers every time. Like you think about that.
So you've actually heard one of these babies, huh?
I'm telling you,
I believe in that stuff.
it's like it's a calling.
There's
It's
hundreds
weird.
of thousands of sightings. I just find it hard to believe that
Just this
it's
high
not going
pitch
on.
thing I do.
There's something there. Are they? You've heard them, huh? You got to record that.
No.
I think we need to think bigger in the way they got technology.
The wall. I'm very interested. What got you involved in UFOs? Something's been following you, or it's been itching at you?
You call it an.
Oh, there's Eric Ecker. Hang on one second here. Headed to work, but thanks for the offer. Okay, man.
Tell him that he's got to come on this weekend. There's 48 hours that I will be live with programming. Tell him to tell me what time works for him, and we will have him on.
You message him that, man. It's your show.
I'm talking to him right now. All right.
Okay.
I can also do that. I'm supposed to be doing that. I already sent him the link. Oh. We both sent him the link.
Going to work.
I heard that. Going to work.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it is 12
You're
here right now in Alberta. At Mountain
you're wondering
Time.
how I got into UFOs?
Yes, sir.
You know, when we live on different fields of existence, and each of us differs with a few seconds apart, but the world is constructed of layers.
Yes.
And and so same space, more than one person could occupy, but on a different frequency. And so, I've figured out those entities maybe are not entities. Maybe those are just, evidence of an existence of a different field of existence, but just maybe a few, I don't know, picoseconds difference. Yeah, and makes it a whole difference of reality. And so, these kind of shows or this kind of channel proves that they can look into one thing, in a sequence. It could prove that we can, timestamp existence. Timestamping is very important, but nobody takes that into regard way. But really, it dictates order. It dictates
Anthony, just for you in the private.
A lot of
hey, how's it going?
Anthony, you got to go into the private chat.
My interest in this is I want to prove that we do live in stacks.
You believe in the parallel universe type things.
Go in the private chat.
Hit
it again.
Your different link?
Yeah.
Bigfoot thing too.
The most recent one in the private chat.
Would you agree to something like that?
I know. I believe
it's
dictated by vibration. Like if you're happy, you're on a higher vibration, so you exist in a higher paradigm or a higher dimension. If you're obsessed or that, you're on a lower vibrational frequency of existence. So, when appear in dimensions is changing.
Vibration.
Yeah.
How do we change that vibration? Because my friend was obsessed with that before he passed.
Death. It's just, death is only for the living. We, the living, experience the observation of death, but the people that die, they don't die. They just precipitate to a lower dimension of vibration. For them, they never know that they only we think they did. You know, like if they had a, let's call it an act or this or that, we observe that this has happened to them, but they think that they got out of it and they continue. And you know, and like, could you possibly resurrect the dead? Yes, but would you want to? Because once you go,
it's funny that you say that. They had a Simpsons episode where it was like the apocalypse, and then they shot a laser beam gun and brought Bart back to life. So explain that.
Okay, you're
I'm not
talking
making funny. I'm being quite serious. You might be on point with that.
Did anyone see the Russian experiments where they froze the dogs and brought them back?
Oh, the dogs?
Yeah.
With the
cut the
pump
dog's head off and brought them back just a head.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, I know. I've seen it. Yeah.
Dogs.
You know, I think anything's possible. Like, I'm starting to wonder, you know, like, I'm not knocking it. Well, like, I'm starting to consider.
Well, if they can reproduce that antifreeze-like solution that some of the fish have in them, that would probably go a long ways.
Yeah.
Oh, the glycoprotein. Yeah.
Russia did it by draining all the blood.
All right, something to you have to quantumly entangle something to that. So let's say you grab an object of somebody that has passed away in your observable universe. If you can lower your vibration enough, you might see them, but you cannot know that they, you know, passed away. You have to be like the blind specimen. You can have contact. It's like we're linked. You understand? We're linked. When one person knows, then it collapses the function. So, you know.
But it's possible, like, you could dupe yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's possible you could dupe yourself just to make yourself forget in a way, and then somehow, like, still keep the memory of the person.
It's like collapsing the function. Once it's like the Feynman diagrams when, or like the quantum eraser. You know, when one particle, like, you know, hits the detector, it deletes the other one. So like one of the particles cannot know that. You understand? Like it's
I know, I do a little bit. Yeah.
So, you know, you have to have somebody like completely in the blind in order for it to for the connection to happen. Otherwise, it won't. You know.
No, this is all very interesting because I'm getting into hardcore physics with the math and stuff, so I might understand what you're talking about more in depth sooner or later down the line. So
I took like, yeah, you understand, all my life I took so much physics. I had private tutors all, you know, my whole life, and I you know, I knew this stuff, but I didn't know how to apply it, or I didn't understand.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm talking about for myself mostly. I'm just for myself, you know.
But you got like one of the families that you get all privately tutored, or?
Yes, yes. But you want to put it to meaningful use. You want to put it, you know, what you know, into, you know, to help others, or how do you connect to something that's lost? You know, it's a lot. So, but it takes a lot of practice. It takes a lot of reading. It takes a lot of knowing. It takes a lot of experimentation. So, but, you know, eventually you will start. Nobody will ever be proficient at it 100%. But, you know, you'll get bits and pieces more than others once you know, apply those things. I don't know. I mean, I'm very big on experimenting with things, and I'm not talking about drugs. I'm talking about, you know, time dilation. I'm talking about like not using clocks at all. Like remove everything that has a timer around you, so you don't know what time it is, and let the universe tell you what time it really is. You know, and like it will push you into the future. It really does.
Freezing does that in a way.
Huh?
Freezing does that in a way. Pretty much stops everything moving. I mean, yeah, it's not the same thing, but it's the closest we got for now.
Yeah, and so, well, we don't want to stop time that way, you know, because it could. No,
I was just saying, if you did something like, let's say, a full body transplant, or you know, let's say somebody was in a terrible accident and, you know, they were crushed. You know, somebody else was. You had a body available.
No.
where, the other person's chest was crushed, you could put that on the next person.
Nope. I don't want to have this world human experience anymore. I'm done. Once this is done,
No,
this is it.
I'm just saying it would be an option for people, though.
Well,
people getting decapitated from those, but then you have somebody else with a working body. I certainly wouldn't mind with
personally,
enormous back pain at times. I wouldn't mind switching bodies, especially if I was like 70 or 80 years old. Give me a 20-year-old body again.
I would be done. That's it.
I wouldn't mind that now.
I've done what I needed to do here. Let's move on to the next universe.
I wonder if we can do. Forgetting the moral issues, I wonder if we're technically capable of doing a transplant like that now.
Oh, I'm sure they've done it. I'm pretty sure they've done it.
I'm thinking so. I'm thinking it'll probably take some rehabilitation for movement, but I'm betting they can do it.
I think they can zap you into another head, possibly in some way. That's what I'm thinking.
You'll do like a copy and transfer?
No, we're put on.
No, they copy your mind, yourself into another head. Literally.
That's what I mean.
You could say you're
like that.
I think they can transfer your soul into another body, dude. It's a lot saying, but
beam consciousness of somebody else into you.
Really, it would be a copy, though, not a.
Listen,
it could be, yeah.
I know for sure I didn't experience. How do I have these memories? Is it like old DNA waking up? Maybe. But
what, you mean you had a near-death experience? Is that what you're saying?
No.
I'm sorry, I got here a little late.
Okay, no, I'm saying that I have memories, but I know I did not experience those in this lifetime. So, but full-on blown memories that, I could tell you very descriptive things about those things. But I know in my life in the 20th century, that is not possible for me that have experienced them. And but I have those memories. So is it ancient DNA? Because your DNA, has memory, and we're, it's neurons. And if at the right time, at the right frequency, that memory comes back, not necessarily you had it, but your ancestors did, and you're just remembering. So I don't.
I've always, the idea of generational memory always fascinated me.
I totally agree with that. I'm not knocking that. No, I totally agree with that.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I have at least 6 or 7 sets of different memories, but I know they're different time frames, like really different time frames. I know I
remember a flash here or there. Are you talking like?
No, I'm talking
like hours or days.
No, I'm talking like ancient DNA. I'm talking about like flood time, when the world flooded.
But I mean, are your memories just flashes of like a few seconds or a few minutes, or are they like, you remember this day happening?
No, like I remember drowning. I remember walking on a collapsed building, and I was like walking on the rim, and I fall into the water, and I remember that clearly. I have another one that I'm in a field, like a wheat field, and I have this tarp, and the wind is blowing, and I grab this tarp and I put it on the wheat straws, and it pushes me like I fly over the wheat, the wheat field, just on this little tarp. I have another one. I'm in a big building with a lot of the high ceiling, a lot of the chandeliers, like almost looks like a cathedral of some sort. I have one of a house that I keep on going on that staircase, over and over and over. So, I could tell you more, but really, but in this life, I know for a fact I did not, experience any of these things. So,
Never heard of that. That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, your DNA is like anybody's DNA. We're ancient. Like we've been on planet Earth for very long time, and you have your inherit genetics, and then you have your recessive. Well, what is
certainly, but the DNA compared to our memory is minuscule.
Yeah. It's just it just has to like right time, the right energy, the right, sometimes even smells. If you smell something, it could activate a memory. And
Yeah.
When I ate the monoatomic gold, it activated a whole shit ton of memories from when I was younger. It was crazy.
Question: did you feel younger? Did you feel younger? Did you feel
Oh yeah,
energized, revitalized?
absolutely. Felt super energized, and like I've been drinking the colloidal waters of the silver and gold for quite some time now, and it's pretty awesome. Like I haven't gotten sick. I feel like I'm not really getting older. I'm 38. Don't yet have gray hair.
You're supposed to not age once you consume monatomic gold. It's supposed to like stop the aging process.
Exactly. But that's right. It's like gold is really expensive, so I can only afford to eat of the pure monoatomic. But I can make a lot of the colloidal waters out of what I have made out of the pure gold and silver.
No, you need the pure one, Bernie. Yeah, you need to get a hold of the pure one. Then that's how you know it works.
I made a high concentration of that with silver using. I used hot water inside of a boiling pan.
I can show you a product that has monatomic gold. I bought it. I paid a lot of money for it. But it's
like that's
it's a product.
The thing. It's gonna if it's pure, it will cost because it's the same price of gold because you got to make it weight for weight out of gold. But a lot of people
you might want to have some type of like sensitive detector or something to get the frequency. If it vibrates at the frequency of gold, yeah, you might want to check that.
I have another product that I bought.
That is a huge part. You need to come on the next Adept Alchemy 101 stream.
It's magnetic gold. Magnetic gold. Have you ever heard of magnetic gold?
That's a new one.
It's
like my entire silver supply, 2 coins.
It's a topical, but your skin absorbs it, so it becomes like monatomic gold. I used to buy this thing for like $50 a jar, and then all of a sudden, when I started telling people, like it was $50 a jar, but when you buy it. But when I started telling people about it, the price went from like $50 to $850.
Oh wow!
So,
yeah.
I still have like a little bit of this. You apply it to wherever you want, and then you let it soak in, and then you grab a magnet, and and it comes on the magnet, but it leaves the gold, so your skin absorbs it, and and your body.
No, that's interesting. Since I'm getting the medical or I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that on the stream. Though.
You said it picks it up, but then you said it leaves the gold. That doesn't make sense to me. What do you mean there?
All right, let me go grab it so I could show you.
Are we live though, or?
Yeah.
Oh, anything on here is medical information. It's not just for purely entertainment purposes. Just I'm stating that for a fact. So anything here is just purely
We're all talking about healing our farm animals. We can experiment with our farm animals as much as we want.
This is not medical advice, so please do seek a professional. Legislation.
Hey, Solar Marshal, what do you do? I've been hearing about you for a while, but I never actually met you. You're muted. You're muted, dude.
Yeah, Solar, you're muted. Oh, Bernie, did you mute
me?
Yeah, me too.
Somebody muted me. I didn't.
No, I didn't mute you. I swear I didn't.
Lower left.
Oh no, I might have muted myself. I used to go by my real name Dan, and Jeremy and I have been doing shows for. I've known Jeremy, my God, over 15 or 16 years now. Him and I were the ones that knew Edgar Fouché real good. I knew Ed.
So you take this,
and I quit doing the show for a while, but I see you on the Apex stuff. We've done shows together. You just don't realize it.
Okay, so
a few times.
It's just been a while. I haven't done Jeremy's show in probably over a year or so. I bet you.
Okay, you apply this,
Spin the
Like
way.
a paste?
What's she doing there?
There's gold. I'm showing you the
You said
monatomic
it
gold.
dissolves, but then the magnet picks it up. That isn't.
Yes, look.
Are you guys talking about eating monatomic gold and stuff?
No, I'm talking about your skin absorbing it, not
That doesn't
eating
really look like gold either. It looks too dark.
it. Okay, I know because look.
I thought the
probably
monatomic was like a white powder.
Okay,
but-
look, this is the product. This is a manufactured
How
product.
much is that?
For
How much
dark.
is it?
This jar is like almost $900.
I was gonna say 1,000.
Okay, so you see this is the magnet. Let me get the magnet. And this is what it's
Boy, that's crazy, isn't it?
yeah. All right.
Free diary.
Maybe it's got a couple of different metals in it.
You see, look. No, I don't know if you can.
Yeah, I do see a hint of a glow.
Okay, yeah, there you go. That's center.
Look.
Yeah,
Look,
I'd be shocked if you'd be able to see the amount of gold in there, because then it becomes an issue. Well, at $900 though.
Look.
Yeah.
It's
Is it actually really gold that you're absorbing
It
to
is,
your body?
yeah.
Real
You can
gold.
you can look up the product. You know.
How does it dissolve in your system? Is what I'm getting at.
Well, you have pores.
Down. It's like the perfect nano size. It's like
You have pores.
But
And, you know.
if it's
stop aging,
oxidized, then it becomes poison and instantly.
I'm 146 years
in,
old.
heavy metals, and that's why it's like the oxidized diatomic. It's blue. That's why when people get the poisoning, they start turning blue. But the mono.
Well, if you remember years ago, colloidal silver
gold?
turned people silver, literally.
Okay.
When I was younger, I'm older probably than most of you.
Yeah, you see,
colloidal silver back in the day,
Right.
the way it was administered years ago, you would see people every now and then. You'd be like, "Oh my God, that person's
always thought
silver." When I was a
It
kid,
was white powder.
you know, yeah, and they were taking colloidal silver in a different way than they administer it today, and these people would turn silver. Now, let me ask you something, Noel. What benefits have you seen from taking this $900 bottle, and how long does that last you? A couple of years?
Yeah, because you could reuse
That's a
it
pretty
over
good
and
sized
over.
thing. For $900, let me tell you something. If you stop aging, it's worth
I didn't
$90,000.
pay $900. I paid $50, but whenever it became popular, the price went up. This is what I'm trying to tell you.
Or did the price of gold go up?
Well, no, just nobody
Gold
knew.
was up to 1950 a little while back. I was like, holy moly.
Same for
Went
potato
back up.
chips now. Makes those just went out of business.
Goes up and down. If that dollar's going down, gold's going up. It's just the way it is, man.
I don't know, but I'll tell you this. I don't look my age at all.
So how are you?
I'm not going to ask you your age, but how old
Okay,
I am.
I don't care. I am 41.
I'm in my 50s.
I'm 41.
I'm 34, so
People think I'm 35 with a hat
I still
on.
get ID'd for
I
buying
don't know.
cigarettes.
Thanks. You guys are making me
If I
feel
go
old.
to a nightclub, I still get, you know,
I put a
like,
hat on backwards. People think I'm 35 years old.
I mean, I if you see me in life, in real life, you can, I might be like between age 18 to 25 max, but
Yeah.
much older than that.
You look like mid-20s.
I still get, I'm telling you, I still get ID'd left and right.
If I see you, that's what I would think. I mean, you talk like you're older, but you look like you're younger.
Because I have life experience. You
Right.
cannot help, not talk.
I'd just like to know if that stuff really works. That's all.
It really does. It really does.
I've seen stuff and you hear stuff. Some stuff works, some stuff doesn't. But
It's
I know
the
who you
brain
are, Anthony. You're a pretty
involved.
smart guy. I can't remember exactly what your forte is in electronics or something. Don't you specialize in something?
I'm looking at researching different stuff for just things to make energy.
I can tell just by looking behind you there. Yeah, I always see on the Apex stuff.
My house is
I
kind of
always
a
watch-
disaster, but that's what I want to keep on doing. I've got an electronic engineering background.
I like watching the Apex stuff. I had an accident
yeah,
a
I
while
like
back.
that technology
I'm off work
works.
right now, and I had my one finger ripped off at work. Jeremy, I tell you about that. Oh boy, couldn't reattach, but it's believe it or not, it grew completely back right here, man.
There was something on the 60 Minutes
Completely.
Australia that they had like a pig's bladder or something like
Completely.
that.
Yeah, they use. Can you believe that they use bladder? I don't know what the deal is. They scrape a bladder and they can grow a finger back. My finger was ripped off. They can't believe it's grown back the way it has. It's a freaky story.
There's like a powder they used or something.
They used powder, but they didn't do that on me. They used it from the bladders, from what he's saying. But yeah.
Oh, I remember there was a powder. I actually got information on it.
It's stem cells. stem cells.
Oh
once you
yeah,
From
Stem cells
any
from the
type
bladder?
of bladder, it's really weird. They can grow fingers back. That had nothing to do with me. Mine just healed very well, but I'm having a
well,
tough time with
I
it
remember
right
there
now.
was one they talked about without stem cells though too. If I mean, you probably sound lying, but I remember there was another.
Same for regrowing
Anyways,
teeth.
I'll have to do some research on that. That's interesting.
Yeah, I've seen the same thing for regrowing teeth. I've seen several articles about using microcurrents and ultra.
Oh yeah, no, yeah,
There's all kinds of stuff
definitely.
coming out
bro.
for regenerating teeth and all that stuff lately. Why can't we regrow teeth? We grow wisdom teeth, we grow baby teeth, grow back. There's,
Exactly.
you know, that'd be great if I could regrow a tooth. I busted 2 off back here. Once you hit 50, man, they start. It's a bitch. It's your teeth.
No
I don't
kidding.
know why, but
No,
Yeah.
I feel it. You losing most of your hair now, or is that what you got the hat on?
no, hell no. I got all my hair, buddy.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe that was what it was.
Full head of hair. Nah, my on off.
Mine's getting there thanks to this.
Get a
damn
fan and get it blowing.
I lost all the hair on my body. It's still like from toxicity.
I have.
my legs
I'd
still
say
look
I
like,
have 90% of my hair from when I was younger. You know.
oh, well, that's great. Yeah, mine. I noticed that if you pay a lot of attention to your scalp, and I was thinking about it one time because I had cats. And there was this one time this kitten was like really scared, and poor little thing. There was another cat coming up sniffing, and I went to touch him, and the cat just flipped out like I was going to eat him or something. And I ended up with a whole handful of fur. I thought about it, and I was like, okay, well, how did that happen? If that can happen instantly, losing your hair, maybe there's, and I've always heard from stress, maybe there's a connection. So I thought about it, and I tried working on relaxing my scalp around there, and it's really made a huge difference. I used to have like giant, every time I'd take a shower.
What are you doing to your hair again? You're relaxing your scalp doing what?
No, just relaxing your scalp by paying more attention to it. Just like the best way to describe, it's hard to describe, but the best way I can describe it is if you've ever seen anybody that could wiggle their ears, pay attention to that, and then the other muscles around it. And then you can start to kind of notice that when your scalp tightens up under stress, and you can relax it. And that's made a huge difference on how much time.
I think the easiest way to deal with your scalp is just not to think about it. I put my hat on because I got a fan blowing over here, and I didn't want my hair blown to one side. That was all that was about, man.
Yeah.
I'll be back in 1 second, everybody.
My grandmother used to break an egg on, like, anybody that had thinning hair or this, and would keep on rubbing it. And like, I've had like family members that grew hair back that, were almost bald, so.
Any idea for removing toxicity? I got that EDTA stuff, and that's helped, but there's still clearly a lot of, I've lost like 2/3 of my hair on my head. I'm just now getting hair back on my chest. My armpits look like a woman. My legs was like better than the nicest woman legs you've ever seen. All the hair fell out. Seriously, my legs are like shiny. No hair at all. I used to have hairy legs. Since I got that injection, they're like shiny all the time, and they itch, and there's like zero hair. And it's just coming back a tiny bit. But that was because this injection of technetium.
Where do you suffer from? Like, what is it your medical diagnosis? Are you diagnosed?
There wasn't one. It was for a heart test because I was having chest pains along in here and here, and they did a circulation test on me and injected me with this technetium, and it was a machine called a SPECT, single photon emission something, to where the radioactive dye would go through my system and the machine would trace radioactive signal.
Like a nuclear stress test?
That sounds, I never heard this word, but that sounds like a really good description.
Okay.
It was called single photon something, the machine.
I think you're talking about a nuclear
still here?
It was SPECT was the name of the machine.
I'm not sure about the machine, but I think that's what you're describing. I'm big into medical. I've done medical all my life. I do medical business management and consulting.
Single photon emission computed tomography.
Okay,
that's what I had.
Did you want to share screen? Oh, I gotta. Or no? Yeah.
Oh, just the wiki page. But,
oh, fuck wiki. Sorry. Stupid wiki.
It doesn't really say anything except it kind of looks like a CAT scan. Only it's showing the circulation.
Like psoriasis, skin
Somehow
psoriasis.
it's showing the bones too.
How do you cure freaking psoriasis? That's the one thing that has developed over the 8 years that I've been drinking this stupid water on my head, and it has not gone away.
You don't, and that's not a good thing. You have to treat the liver in order for the psoriasis to heal. So
the liver?
That's an indication of liver damage whenever you have psoriasis.
Oh, really?
Yeah, same for losing your skin is a sign of toxicity. Losing your hair is a sign of toxicity.
And whatever you guys are doing, you gotta like ease it off. You know, if you want to live a long life. If you want to live a long life, like
mine, I wish I had. Yeah, I wish I had a choice. They injected that shit in me, and I didn't. They said it's harmless. You'd pee it out. Same thing for I've had like iodine and contrast many times before. Not once have I ever peed it out. Had it like I don't know 8-10 times.
I wanna teach you something. Your body is made out of
Chase, it's like
water.
I guess I'm gonna have to stop drinking it for 3-6 months. See if
they said you'd pee like bright orange the next day. Never did.
And what now?
They said after the test you'd pee bright orange the next day. That's losing your leaving the iodine leaving your body. Never did. And it's like had it many times with the combination of the CAT scans and then this thing. But this time, instead of iodine, it was that technetium stuff.
Although at the same...
I don't know what that stuff was, but...
It was... I also
whatever it is, it definitely didn't go away because it was an unbelievable
Either way...
So here's the thing, though. It developed 3 years into me taking the colloidal stuff, and it was right when I quit taking opiates. And I haven't been on opiates for 4 years. And ever since then, I've had the stupid fucking psoriasis.
Yeah, that's the problem I got to take on.
I'm serious. THC, marijuana, it has like natural things in it that heal.
I'll see if they can let me do that. Unfortunately,
I've got a lot of THC in me. I don't think it's that.
Yeah, but you're mixing it with other things, and that's the problem. So like you're eliminating the benefits of it. Can't mix it. You just gotta.
What about that oil stuff?
Yeah, RSO, Rick Simpson oil. I got to.
It's something like THC, and I've heard it'll fail a test, but
I
don't think they'd be pissed off if I get that stuff.
What do you do? What do you do that you're afraid that you're gonna?
CBDs in it, and the terps. I think
also
terpenes.
I couldn't hear you both of you talking at the same time.
I said, what do you do as a profession that you're afraid that you're going to fail a test?
Oh, well, I normally electronic engineer, repair test equipment and all kinds of electronic stuff. But the test, I can't work because my back's screwed up. My L5S1 spinal arthritis, multi-level degenerative disc disease, and 3 different bone spurs. Oh, and relisthesis and a dehydrated disc. And that's everything in the moment that comes to mind, as if just one thing wasn't. Now, L5S1's about this far out. So I think they said something like 12 to 18 millimeters, something like that.
Like, listen, in Houston, there's a really, really good doctor. His name is David Tomasak. He's a neurospine surgeon. This doctor, I know personally, because I work in the medical community, so like a lot of patients. He have been cured 100% of back pains, I'm
gonna check that out. Colloidal calcium.
This doctor is like more his so I don't know, but I'm trying to help.
Yeah, if I could find some way to do it in Ohio and just barely getting by as is, so pisses me off. I should have been a millionaire easy by now. By the time I was 20, ending my 20s.
Do you guys want to see something cool? I found something really cool.
Like to get together with some other people here and make some things.
Yes, right. I got frick. I keep forgetting to post that link. I will be right back. Down.
You know those pennies. They say that they're worth so much. I found 3 of them.
The wheat ones, the really old pennies.
Yes, yes. Like I looked them up. Like one of these things used to be like $400,000. Like I found 3 of those.
Wait, for a penny?
Yes, yes.
Holy crap.
But I don't know what to do.
I didn't know that was a thing.
It will. Yeah, they say the wheat pennies from I think up to 1903 up to 1959. They range in price, but I found 3 of these things. You know, like I'm like so stuck. You don't understand. I don't know where. Like,
yeah, I wish. Heck, the most I ever found, I found $5 about 2 weeks ago. That's the most I ever found.
Yeah, so I still have a whole base of pennies.
There's Dan. We got Dan back.
And I don't even know.
Dan, Eric's confirmed for this weekend. He'll be telling me what time for this 48-hour multi-channel stream.
He's going to work. He's something else, huh?
Oh yeah, Eric's awesome. And
how far? I don't understand. Is Alaska 3 hours behind or 6? I almost think they're 6 in some spots.
Maybe
because Hawaii would be 8.
Yeah, it could be actually. Yeah,
he's up West Coast Alaska. He used to live in Long Island, New York, and then he went south, back, goes to Alaska, never comes back. I don't blame him. Alaska is absolutely beautiful if you can handle the cold, which he does very well. I would love to make that transition. It's very, very expensive to live up there, but the pay is a little better.
Oh, hey, anybody, don't go outside now.
Don't go outside.
Well, I'm in Pennsylvania. You know, my temperature.
And last night,
I'm in Pennsylvania, and it's 41 degrees right now. Why is it so cold now? It's 41 right here.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
My forecast is 10.
It was like 26 last night.
I'm going to have a decent week. 55 tomorrow.
Right here.
Sun.
It's 64.
What's going on with the temperatures? Really... Everybody's telling me how cold it's going to be.
Where are you going?
It's going to be 68 on Wednesday and 62 Thursday.
But it's only...
Oh,
I'm in PA. I'm not kidding you. 53 Friday, 47 Saturday. Yeah, we have decent weather, man. We're mean too, but you guys are in a actually, we get the South Coast, everything that blows up from the South Coast. You're kind of in that stream off the lake.
Also messing with the weather too. I've noticed it since they're like about 2000. And well, not only that, the weather says that too. They said we've been in a drought for over 10 years. It's like, it's ever since they've started spraying the shit in the sky.
Yep.
Oh boy, you're talking about the trails. Okay.
Yep. I didn't believe it at first. I had some solar panels on the side of my house. Yeah. Back in the 90s, they used to heat up with no water in them. Now, in 2000, after keeping those planes in, they wouldn't even get warm most of the time. There wasn't enough sun. And now all the houses in the area, they all got mold on one side in the garage.
I thought about that.
There's a lot of losses at first.
To tell if there's
well, there's not enough light. There's not enough UV. Many days I can go outside and I can't, from like noon to 3, which would normally be sunny. You can't even see
that would be your best hours. So you're telling me right now that the amount of fog or what have you is so dense, or the coating between the sun and your home is so blacked out due to, you're saying CT. Yep. I'm going to call it CTing. Okay, I don't want to say the word because I don't know what's good, what's bad. So bad. Electricity right now, or heat. And they've been pushed, Marshall, for
in the 70s and 80s talking about geoengineering.
Holy
and when they were talking about getting used to a white sky and blue sky, that's all I see now is a big hazy white sky. I almost never see
It's
the
almost
sun.
a silver.
You can't see the moon most
From
of the
when
time.
I was
Let
a
alone
child
stars.
till now, the sky, and I've told people this, does not look the same. It looks
Nope.
totally different. Used to have a nice
not at all,
blue sky
right?
when I was a young kid.
Right,
Everyone played outside. Now no one ever plays outside.
right.
Kids play video games. Kids are, excuse my language, the kids are fat and out of shape
Oh,
compared
yeah.
to what they were when I was a kid. We were all in shape.
Yeah.
Our buddies,
Yeah,
we
well, parents
ran
would
by.
pick us out and say, go play. Now,
What was that? Well, yeah, these kids nowadays are all big and heavy and,
oh,
crazy,
man.
and they drink
A
tons
year or
of
two
soda.
ago, I went to pick up somebody that was, I don't know, she was like 12 years old. I mean, this is like sixth grade
it
and
was
down. There were
safer.
300 pound people,
It
kids.
used to be safer. Like, listen, I'm a mother. My kids telling me they want to go play outside. I'm scared because, you know, I don't
Yeah.
know what weirdo's
Whatever
gonna
this
come.
is, plus whatever that's this stuff from that railroad
Really
thing
scared of
last
them.
night.
You know what I
I
mean? Like,
definitely
it takes
smelled a
1
strong
second
chemical
and
smell
kid
last night.
disappears.
I'm 274 miles away.
You know, it's not like, you know, kids. I think it's just the
Is
world
it your
has
neighborhood
gotten
you're
more
scared of? How do you
dangerous.
pronounce your name? How do you pronounce your name, by the way? Noel?
Yeah, but call me Lulu. It's easier.
Lulu. Oh, okay. I seen that parentheses. Tell me what you're scared of. You scared of your neighborhood? What's up?
No, just you know, in general, like,
Don't
it's
your
nothing
husband take care of business? What's up?
I am not married.
Oh, okay. How many kids you got there, if you don't mind me asking, Lulu?
I have total of 4 kids. One
Okay. Are they scared of what's going on?
No, the children are oblivious, but we as parents.
Because Houston is a scary area in the city. I would
No,
think.
I don't live
It's got
in the
bad
city. I
around
live
here.
in the suburbs.
I
Listen,
think the
I live
last
in the
4
suburbs.
years around here, it's
In my neighborhood is all like police officers, military personnel. Like, every other house is, you know, an
So
officer.
you're
or
telling
something.
me socially the kids just aren't into it?
No, it's not that they're not into it.
I'm
It's
trying to
just
figure
kids
this out
don't-
because I don't
Where?
see any kids outside playing anymore.
Yeah,
Well,
same
that's
here.
the
No.
smartphones and the
You can't
freaking
tell anybody had
tablets
kids.
and everything.
You
TV.
do, but
video
as
games.
parents, we are like, I don't encourage my kids to go play outside that much because I mean, it means I have to stand there outside while they play, you know, and they might play an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours.
What? How old are these
Little
kids?
kids, they're like little kids,
What?
you know, little kids.
You
Well,
gotta
that's
be your
why you
kids
gotta stand
outside.
there. Okay, you gotta stand there. No such thing as a park. I got a big park by my house.
Okay, if you had a kid, would you still send your kid to the park by themselves?
It depends on what age they
Okay,
are.
let's say they're between 10 and 15.
They'd be out in that park alone.
They would? Okay, well then,
Once they're over 12 or 13, yeah, they should be on their own.
no,
I mean,
no,
unless you're-
no,
Now,
in your
if you're in a
world,
bad
in my
neighborhood,
world,
no.
no,
If you're in a bad neighborhood, no.
no.
In my neighborhood, I encourage
don't
bicycle riding. I'd encourage skateboarding, or basketball, football, whatever. I'd encourage it. You don't see anything like that. I think the
Well,
age
if
of
you're
athletics
good,
is
then we'll be
almost
independent.
over. I'd say in another 20 years you won't see pro football or none of that crap.
No.
Or it'll be an enigma of its once self.
Hey, in my area, I lived here 30 years. I can't even tell you who has kids because I never see, except for the school bus coming by, I never see them.
Do you guys, any of you have children? This is the question.
No,
okay,
I
so
don't.
I'm talking to people that don't even have that paternal instinct.
You have children there.
It doesn't mean we don't have the instinct. It's just everybody.
I was wrong. I don't. Let me tell you something, Lulu. I don't know what happened
in relationships. So
I'm not gay or anything like that. I just never had any kids. I don't. And the one chick I was dating found that hard to believe. But I told her, I said, I don't know. Maybe I never was capable.
I'll tell you this.
That's what I thought too.
I will not date a guy that doesn't have children because I have children. You understand? And
you don't like guys that don't have kids? Why?
It's not. I don't like guys that don't have kids. It's the whole dynamic of the relationship will not be balanced. So,
why?
You know, because they cannot sense the danger from a paternal or instinct. Because you guys have never had to deal with it. You don't know that. You don't know the cues. You don't know the.
If I told you I'm a 6'5" wrecking machine.
Not only that, I can barely walk. I can tell you right now, I can lay most people out pretty fast.
And what?
And not only that, I had a really shitty childhood. I'll put it that way. I was the only white kid on the black side of town. Got my ass kicked plenty of times. I can really take care of myself. And I've taken care of kids before. Just because I don't have them now doesn't mean I never did.
There you go.
I took care of 3 kids.
He's your neighbor, Amy.
Like,
Where do you live?
Hearing about money.
You live in Ohio, don't you? There you go.
That's all I hear anymore is I want somebody to pay for me. There's no love. There's no loyalty.
You want somebody to pay for you?
Just pay for me. It's disgusting. So it's like I haven't dated in 20 years because of that.
Now, come on, man. That's one of the most chauvinistic things I ever heard in my life. You want a woman to pay for your ass?
No, that's what I'm hearing.
Huh?
That's what I'm hearing. And I hear that all the time. It just seems like
I thought you were
nobody
just
will
literally
date you
saying that
unless you
shit
can
out,
pay for them. And it's like nobody even wants to date now unless you have $100,000 a year. Which that's fucked up. So
I ride,
but
my motorcycle's my chick, you know, and then she could jump on the back, you know, good time.
Well, I have my own motorcycle, so you know.
Well, you ride, girl.
I have like a tri.
Do you have a Can-Am? That's a great company.
Hello, Matthew Rife.
I
Good
do.
to see you, brother.
Actually, you know, my brother had one of them. I ride super nice Harleys.
Hey, you got to remember too, guys teach different things than women. That's the reason why you don't take this on it. Like Obama said, how 5 times more likely for the kids to end up in prison.
Let me tell you this. I'm a black belt taekwondo. I have weapons. You know, like
Anthony, listen to her. She said she's a black belt taekwondo.
Yeah, I have weapons up to my dude. You know.
Yeah, great. Underestimate the mama.
Remember
yourself, but then you said yourself.
Let me sit in my chair.
It would be okay, but I, as a mother,
I am in my chair. I'm a beast. I'm 6'5".
If they're once they're like 8 to 10, they you should be able to leave for an hour here and there if you want to and not have any problem.
Yeah, yes, if they're in the house,
I was like on my own from 7-1, and that was in the bad side of town.
Man, I like no, like you know what.
But I mean, I didn't go outside and run around, but I could take care of myself.
All I'm telling you, it's time to change.
He said he could
when you were a child, it's different than you're now before children. If you can that time, it's a different time, you know?
What made you say that, Anthony, to that poor woman over there? You scared her, I think.
Oh, I didn't mean it that way, because I can protect people if need be.
I think she'd kick your ass. She just said she is a taekwondo expert.
You know, hey,
she got some brains too.
Protect the family. Just
like I'm the man.
I can run for about 2 or 3 minutes.
Let me ask y'all.
I'm the one
y'all
that
get lonely, or it sounds to me like Anthony's lonely. And let me ask you something, Lulu. You get lonely? It's okay to be lonely. I do.
Not really. Not really.
I had a girlfriend. I'm not really sure what she's good for. She didn't hang with me much.
Yeah, sometimes
I got hurt, and she turned her back on me. I don't get it.
She wasn't.
I don't understand why.
I don't have trust in guys because I was married for over 20 years, and I spent my whole life for a person that didn't appreciate it, you know, at the end. So if I spent 20 years with a guy and had 4 kids, and the result was not a good one, then you know what? Some person that I have no connection to, I'm gonna trust. Good luck with that.
Can I ask you something? Can I ask you something? What is your ethnic background?
I'm originally Syrian, half Turkish.
Wow.
Grew up all my life.
Really? What? Wow. You got that exotic look going on. I like it. Not hitting on you, but you got a good look to you.
Thank you.
Gold's doing a nice job.
You remind me of somebody, but I can't think of who.
Job interview.
I look like Brad Pitt.
I'm getting a job.
What's that?
I had a job interview today. I'm getting a job.
So you had a job interview today? Have you been looking? You've been out of work? Houston area's tough. It ever since you guys ever since in Houston. That's what I'm hearing.
There's some problems with that?
No, ever since Corona happened, a lot of the
very
like
all kinds of businesses like that. It's even stuff that like with Mike sells potato chips. They're just going out of business now. Why? I don't know, because everybody loves them. At least I don't know if they're natural.
What are they called again? Is this your business or what? What do you do, Anthony?
I have electric engineering background, worked on
great conversation, by the way, Bernie. What do you do again, Mike? What's going on with you, man?
Anthony?
What were you saying?
Hey, Mike?
Yeah, that's Anthony.
You said Anthony.
Oh, yeah. The company's a potato chips.
Okay, why do you go out of business? I don't get what you brought that up for.
So
I never heard of Mike's chips. We has Martins around here. They're very good.
Yeah, this is like one of the. They were like the last couple on the
I've never seen them before, man.
Yeah, I was looking for the
You're getting excited over potato chips. Like, get excited, like over some, like discontinued whiskey.
I never heard that. No, I've been trying to do this for 4 months, and the first time I came, and then it's like I found them, and it's like, damn it, they're going out of business.
Matthew Reif will be joining us shortly.
I could understand if it's like a winery that but not potato chips. Like,
yeah, I actually wish I hadn't bought them, but.
Listen, the only thing that you should buy if it gets discontinued is whiskey. Anything other than that, garbage. Like just letting you know.
There you go. So we're sitting here talking. So you're half Turkish, you're half I like that. Syrian. Wow, that's awesome.
Here's my favorite.
You're the first Syrian woman. I used to drink those. They're pretty good. First Syrian chick I've ever spoken to.
This is good stuff.
Yeah, I've had them already. They're mixed up with
I'll show you what's the good stuff.
Yeah, show us.
Yeah, it kind of tastes like punch, but I think they're like 4 or 5% alcohol.
This is good stuff.
And they are delicious.
Oh, Black Velvet. Yeah, or what is that?
That's Blue Label.
Oh,
that's Blue Label. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Do you drink it straight?
I could, but prefer not.
What do you mix it with?
I forgot I had this butter for my birthday and forgot about them.
I drink it.
By the way, that hat you got on there, is that a hat, right?
It's a hat, yes.
That's
oh.
I like that look. I bet you have a bunch of thick hair under there, don't you?
Yeah, I mean,
you don't even have. Listen, you don't even have. See, when you take that off, it makes you look a lot younger. You know that?
It's cold. I'm freezing.
Let your hair down once. Let's see what's going on there. I'm gonna tell you what's up.
That's right. That's okay.
You're very exotic looking. I can tell right away you're from one of those countries over there. Syria is awesome. I mean, I'm just saying Syria. I know what's going on over there is not awesome.
Listen, Syrians, I'm not a typical Syrian. Syrians are white people. They're blonde with blue eyes.
Really? Like me? See,
yes,
my eyes are blue and my eyebrows are blonde. You mean to tell me would I fit right in Syria with this beard and stuff?
You would. Yes.
In Syria?
Yes.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Aleppo, especially Aleppo. The city like Aleppo. Like, like my grandma.
Yeah, the main city. So I would fit in no problem down there.
Yeah.
Is that a Muslim area mostly?
I'm Muslim.
I had a friend in college, Emil, I think was his name. It's been a while, but you look a little bit like him.
It's mixed. It's Muslim and Catholic Orthodox.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. I have all my hair. I'm not wearing a hairpiece or nothing like that. I'm 50 years old. And I look Syrian from what you're telling me.
I'm just saying you have the characteristics because you guys have the wrong impression.
He has blonde hair and blue eyes.
Might look like,
That puts me.
I bet you wouldn't get what I am. I'm 1 in 40,000 people. So good luck there.
You're what?
I said I'm 1 in 40,000 people.
You're 1 in 40,000. That means your blood type's different. Is what you're saying.
I'm half I
If
have to.
if I tell you this, you won't believe me.
Listen to this. Let's hear this. What is
And
it?
I
half
probably have the
Hungarian, which is
most
also about
ancient
0.5% of the
DNA
people.
on this planet.
So that's 1 in 200 and 1 in 200. So 1 in 40,000 combination.
I
Maybe
have
less.
What are you?
probably, I'm one of the most unique DNA structures out of 7.8 billion people.
Well,
Yeah, plus
let's
my
hear what
mother
Anthony-
had
you can go.
I think it was called RH factor.
What's
Rhesus factor. No, I'm not like, I don't have the.
No, I'm just saying as far as mine, I don't know what the details of that meant, but apparently she had to get a transfusion when she was born. So who knows what that does?
No, I'm telling you, I have one of the purest DNAs, which is like very healthy DNA.
Oh,
Like, I don't have health issues. I don't have the mutations nor deviations or it's just listen, in the Middle East,
how did that happen?
well, it's culturally because they don't mix. They don't mix
Okay.
a lot,
That
and
makes
so
sense.
when they don't mix, the DNA gets refined and refined and refined
Right.
and
A
refined.
lot of Asian
throughout.
people like that too.
So no, and I didn't choose it. It just it happened.
Asian people is one of the few people that still have actual families. It's getting rare anymore.
You say that.
Shame.
Where?
So as an Asian people, one of the few people that still have like strong families. Now it's all, no families, just single mothers, and it's really
SCIJ.
You
like
have issues.
everybody.
with women.
Everybody I know. No
like,
dad.
listen. You've got major issues against women. I'll tell you that. It oozes.
Against women, that's a survey.
Like I swear to God.
I don't
No,
know.
you're misinterpreting it. You're misinterpreting it. I'm talking the data itself. Like when I grew up,
Remember that's
everybody I knew, it was about 1 in 10 to 1 in 20 of the kids had a dad. Okay, when I'm here, even though I'm in a house,
I'll
so
see you on Facebook, Lulu.
still having dads is about maybe 1 in 5 people. I'm talking about the survey in general. And I just found out that it's on the U.S. population now that the majority are single mothers now. No dads there either. That's
stop cheating. If you guys would stop cheating,
that's not an issue of
girls
mine.
wouldn't divorce you. Stop cheating.
This was a survey by the U.S.
Let me ask you something, Lulu. You're
Same
not
thing with
on
marriage,
Facebook,
6.8 in 1,000 now.
I can't hear you. Say that again.
I said with marriage right now, it is 6.8 in 1,000 getting married now. 0.68%.
You don't have to get married.
Coincidentally, the dating sites where they say they only want guys that are 6 feet tall, 6 inches, and make $100,000. Well, you can't forget the 6 inches. But
nope,
if you look
I can make my own money. I don't need that guy to make money. I need somebody that.
No, but just check this out. This dating thing is going on. I found this.
I don't want some dumb schmuck.
Just listen for a second. Check this out, though. This is interesting. The number of people getting married is 0.68%. The number of guys that make $100,000 unmarried under 30 is 0.66%. That's only 0.02% difference, almost the identical number. So that shows that standard is really being followed.
In my case, Mr. Anthony, my ex-husband lives just a few miles away from me. So I have no issues with my children not having a father because at any second.
All your children are to the same guy, right?
An insult, it wasn't meant towards you. I'm talking about society in general.
Yeah, well,
it's what I've grown up with, what I've seen everywhere.
She lets you know straight out, and that's good that she thinks you have issues with chicks.
Oh, yeah.
And,
well, usually in the non-Western areas, usually are way
burned one time.
What's really going on?
Let me ask you a serious question. You do come off strong on that aspect. Were you burned one time by a girl, man? Did a girl piss you off or something? What happened, man?
No, it's his mother. You could tell it's his mother. He has problems with that, and that translates to every other girl. It's easy.
Actually,
my mom.
No, I didn't have a problem there. She was really screwed up. I knew it.
I knew it.
Are you a psychologist
or
something there?
Because we lived in the black side of town, she was about 8 times. Another attempted 10 or 12 that I know of. I seen her come back home in the back of a police car naked many times. We both had the shit beat out of us many times for being white people on the wrong side of town. So she was about 4'8". She was really small, so she was like a big target.
So I have a question. Do you do any nonprofit work towards helping women like that?
Let me finish a little bit here. So that made her like really
outreach
screwed up with guys. So she didn't date or anything.
Behind the screen and bitch at girls, you know, in general.
I couldn't hear that.
I said, you have so much problems with that in your life, but that your mom was sexually assaulted, that you guys were hurt. Do you do anything proactive in your current daytime to combat that? Do you like volunteer?
No, I don't have a problem with it.
Or do you
that used to be why it was messed up. My mother died a long time ago.
Huh?
But I said, I don't have a problem with it. My mother died a long time ago. But I don't date because every time I've dated, all I hear is you don't make enough money for my lifestyle.
No, you just have.
That is what I've heard.
No,
and all the other guys, go to the Better Bachelor channel. You will see thousands of other guys that's had the same exact experience. Go online dating now. They always start, must make $100,000 or not worth dating. Everywhere you look, it's like all the interviews, it's always about money.
I have friends. I've never, none of my friends, say that. None of my friends think that. You know, I think this is in your head, Mr. Anthony.
No, it's not. This is what I've heard.
I really think it's an inferiority.
Go to any interview channels.
You have.
Go to any interview channel. I seen it just earlier tonight. There's a channel called Whatever. Every time they interview the women, they always start out with a money amount. You know. That's way worse in the 20s, but I'm talking older women. But it's like, this is what I've heard over and over from when I tried to date. So
here's a girl I was seeing,
but Better Bachelor, you can see and you can read all the comments in there. You know, endless examples.
You're not real pretty.
You have to be a quality guy. You cannot be.
Yeah, I know. You're if you don't make enough money. I've heard that plenty of times.
Okay, but listen to me. A quality guy does not translate to money. Quality guy translates to.
I don't know what he's talking about.
That's all I hear. That's all I hear. Go on YouTube.
Very pretty.
Go on the channel that says Taylor the Fiend. All the interviews. Every one of them start with a money amount. Everywhere you go.
I don't know, man, what sites you're going to. Like, you're not even like.
I don't go.
We're talking about real life mostly, but this is what you can watch.
No, I wouldn't waste my time on that kind of garbage. Kidding me?
Like, no, but you're saying it doesn't exist. I'm showing you where it does exist. And where I've seen it a lot.
Man, you're going the wrong dating sites, buddy, if you're having all that trouble.
No, I don't use any of the dating sites. I just watch.
You're too high. I don't need
these. And Mr. Anthony, you try to attract.
I've never dated online. This is a waste of time.
To make a bad judgment that you're like all these girls. No, but
this is what I heard. This is what I keep being told.
I don't date.
The last several times I dated,
broke up.
They left because I didn't make enough money. I was told that.
And you know what? You're dating a gold digger, dude. That ain't no good anyway. You can't date this.
That's what I'm saying.
Trying to tell people this right now, man. If a girl is after you for money, she ain't gonna fucking be happy, because every girl I've ever known that's chased money, you can only buy such a nice place, and then that gets old.
Right.
And it's like, oh my God, I'm stuck with this guy I'm not attracted to or even have any fun with, all because I like the way that piece of drywall looked in the fucking corner, and I like that kitchen cabinet. That kitchen cabinet gets old. You can go look at them at Lowe's if you want.
Right.
If a girl's after you for money, good luck, because you ain't finding happiness with her. Send her down the road if she wants money. That's the first thing, man. If a girl says, I need money. Now, I can understand her not wanting to date a bum. I can understand that, because there are guys out there straight up bums that don't want to work, don't want to do shit. I understand that. I work hard. That's why you don't ever see me.
I can't make a lot more because my back's fucked up.
But I got hurt. I had my finger chopped off. It's back on. It's good. I'm going back to work hopefully next week. I've been off for a couple months.
I had my finger chopped off.
Yeah,
I had my
finger. Completely removed, where it was completely cut off.
Yeah. I touched the bone. I touched the bone with my finger.
This was a lot worse than touching the bone, hon. This was way
Mr.
worse.
Solar, like I literally like
Some
my
pictures of it?
my
I'll show
finger
you a picture
came
of what
off,
happened to it.
and I touched the bone, and then
Let me
I
see
had
it.
37 stitches.
Put it
on
up.
this
Let
finger.
me see it. Put it up. I want to see it, hon.
Hold on. Let's right there. You see the
Well, how
crease?
many years ago? How many years ago was it? You can't see it because you're not in the camera. A long time ago, right?
You see it? You see it?
I can see the scar, but look at mine. Look at my scar, hon. I mean, mine is a little worse than that. Now I'm gonna show you a picture if I
Is that a
can.
Band-Aid or is that your finger?
Let me show you. Just gonna show you. All right, watch this. Get ready because this is disgusting.
Oh, my heart hurts. My heart already hurts.
Hold up, I gotta go to my face. I got my damn Facebook to show you. I don't like even going there because who knows who the fuck's watching. Excuse my language.
Oh my God, this is live. Shit, Bernie, this is live. I thought this was.
Where did he go? I don't even. I don't even know where he
This is
went.
on YouTube. It's private between us.
That's live.
It is live.
Between us, though. It's just like a phone call. It's only between us.
Bernie,
We're live on his channel right now.
Yeah. Oh,
is this like?
he's passing on to the BurnEye channel.
Oh my gosh, Bernie,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Time to delete it.
Bernie.
Didn't know he did that here.
Just I don't like. I didn't know
No,
that.
man, we're like.
Yeah, I thought it was completely private.
Can you find Aaron Bernie? Oh Jesus! I'm not showing the picture of my finger and all that.
No,
I don't know if
this
it's
is like
on the
we're
BurnEye.
talking very personal things, and this is like going public. That's not good.
Bernie,
Hold on. I don't know.
tell him.
Listen for a second. I don't know if it's on the BurnEye channel, but it is on the Crypto Alchemist channel.
Okay,
I'm
well,
looking at the crypto.
I thought we were in private. This was an after show.
That's what I thought. Like,
That's
oh
why I
well.
thought he had me switch over.
I mean, I didn't say anything that I wouldn't say in front of anybody anyway. So I don't.
No, I mean, this doesn't need to go out to the entire world. This is boring to everybody. Is my problem. So.
This is like like I don't know. I don't like.
Hey, looks a lot of people thought my comments were the same. They said the same thing I did.
It might get me like I might get popular and get like a job at NASA or something like that. Yeah. Hey NASA, I need a job.
I hate to say this, but I seriously doubt it.
Nah.
Why? Why do you doubt it?
Oh, no, wait, we can just ask him to delete it afterwards anyway.
Yeah, after like
That's what I'm going to
already
demand. I didn't know. I thought that's why he had me switch over to something else.
I wanted to stay on Jeremy's channel.
That's why I thought he made us go private because
yeah, same here.
Oh, and today I won a court case too. I got I interviewed and I won a court case.
Oh yeah, what kind of court case? Pretty big one?
Nope,
Oh, wow.
a speeding ticket.
Civil case? Oh, okay. I'll tell you. Okay, well that's good.
Oh, shit. I hope I don't get his channel messed up by the way I talked.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I didn't know it was public.
Shit said on here.
No, listen, I'm very harmless. Like, yeah, I'm tough and but I don't do anything bad. Like, and I really wasn't speeding. I really wasn't speeding.
Yeah, you're like a strong wind comes along and you blow away.
No, I don't. No, but I can hold up my own. I have no problem.
That's not what I meant. I meant you're tiny.
Oh yeah, yes.
We're big guys.
Yeah, I could still knock you down easily. No, I can't. It's not, I don't have to try. I really can't. Listen, my friend. I'll tell you this: when we go out, like I'm the tough one because for one time we went out. This guy,
all right,
we got a cab, and this guy pushed me, so I pushed him back. He pushed me, so I knocked him on the floor. He got up. I twisted his arm and popped it off, like I broke his arm. So the police came and they said, did you do this? I said, yeah, but he started, and they're like, okay, go home. And they told the guy, you deserved it. Don't push him.
Yeah, if he's being an asshole, yeah, he deserves it.
Yeah, I broke his arm off. So, whoops. Don't push me. I told you I'm a black belt taekwondo. Ever since that, all my friends, you know, like, oh, we want to go with Lulu because, you know, like she knows how to, you know, handle herself. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, I wanted to do that too. Never got a chance.
Well, times have changed a lot, you know. If you have a little self-defense in you, it helps, you know, especially against extraterrestrials.
And I used to be a kid. I used to carry nunchucks in my boots. Like, you know.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with nunchucks in the boots, trust me.
You know, you know, all my life, I wasn't like, I gravitated towards these things. I don't know why, but, you know, I did. And, you know, anything that I've learned always helped me in my life, one way or another, you know, so,
yeah.
Except with my finger, like that. I cut my finger with a switchblade, you know, those things that, yeah. I was trying to make a hole in a belt, you know, like to add another little hole, and the thing closed on my finger. The thing closed on my finger.
We must be a lot more entertaining than we thought. There's 45 people watching.
Yeah.
I
don't like that.
Or I'm sorry, the crypto channel, the BurnEye channel. I haven't filmed yet.
You know, I have also inventions. I have like 7 inventions. So.
7 what?
7
inventions?
Yes. Yeah.
What's your best one? Describe it.
My best one is
It's lagging.
We all thought we stir. So is awful. It has to be terrible things that were said. Yes, sir.
You know, we might get your channel in trouble.
Holy shit.
What did y'all do?
We put alcohol on the channel.
Get you shut down, man. Yeah, I'm careful.
But yeah, I'd probably delete it.
Ethical shit.
Oh dear. How dare we?
Like here in Houston.
Shouldn't be on mute. I'd say. Yeah, definitely.
This. I thought we were off. We're talking about shit, you know, personal shit.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought we were off.
Like Anthony's a women hater, you know.
I was there.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't like
basically called him out for being a woman hater on
I don't care if they're men or women.
But he came off kind of like hating on him.
Don't
So
confuse the
you know,
two.
I don't know. She thought
I want people with morals.
they were private.
On the wrong one. God damn it.
Well, you have to have them to seek them. I'm not insulting you. I'm just telling you.
You are.
You know, you want them.
Someone
You have
wanting
to have them.
someone that cares about people instead of money isn't morals, according to you. What you just said.
I said you're looking for, like, you're using the
I'm
wrong.
looking for somebody that cares about love.
You're seeking low quality people. That yes, you are.
I'm looking
Yes, you
for
are. Like,
somebody
look at
that
the sites that
can
you
find,
use.
but that's what they've all been turning into later.
Weird sites, which I've
How do
never
you know
heard.
what I've been seeking? You haven't been in my life.
You just describe the channels that you've been trying to find girls.
No, I described the channels
And
to
any
give
girl
you
that
an
puts herself
example.
on those kind of, you know, dating things already is a look.
You're
on the monetized channel anyway, so
the thing, because I can't show you my.
we're good.
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Exactly. Or
She said I'm Syrian. She said Syrian. What's up, Lou? You like Syrian dudes? What's up?
Bernie.
No.
Are we still on live?
Yes, we are. We're still live on my Crypto Alchemist channel. So.
I'm not Syrian at all.
You should really get that.
Hard to believe the Syrians got blonde hair.
We talked about will really get you in trouble. I'm not kidding.
What did
No.
That's
not true, Bernie. That's not true.
Bullshit.
People are
Don't let it scare you. Don't. That's not true.
Bullshit. There was mad. You don't understand.
With what I just talked to you about my mother.
No, that's all.
10 days.
Oh, wait. With what I just talked about that happened to my mother.
I'm just
Those are words that will get you in deep trouble.
Well, stop saying it over and over again. Algorithms won't pick it up.
He didn't come off looking well because she's being a man.
I was specific as far as who did it.
You really want to find the quality girl. Do some good outreach work in the thing that you're, hurting from. It will
from anything. I get along with people.
You're hurting from it somehow.
No.
Yeah.
You're taking a defensive position because you think I'm talking about single mothers and you think I'm leaving a single mother around me problem when it's the stupid fact.
You don't like guys that don't have kids, which is
look at the census and I show you the numbers.
Not that I don't like guys that don't have kids. It's just it would take good.
And like it because
gotta help take care of that. I'm not talking about anything specific to one person. I'm talking in general.
Nice,
unless I say it's specific to one person, I'm saying in general. That's why I said in general society.
The only way I will date a single guy that doesn't have kids if my kids approve of that.
Today, and that's part of the CDC census that I read.
Get that smoke on, you know what I mean?
And that's also on many other channels, and it's like all over the place. That's not my opinion. That's census data.
It's fabricated. Overhyped. It's
0. Bernie, let me ask you something. You know what we're gonna do? Hey, Bernie, I need to ask you something, brother.
Yes, sir.
We need to have you and UFO this weekend. Or
yes, we are.
One hacker on two. I haven't done one in well over a year because where I work. But what are they gonna do to me? They can't say nothing to me.
You know, we should go over the
great and 48 hour stream this weekend.
With the different methods of
we got another one going on tonight too.
And have people
works in the middle of the night.
And for energy, right? Energy, yes, I know energy generation, not technically, but I can't think of the correct word.
Oh, hold on a minute.
There's a couple of patents that I've seen, like Mace patent. That's really interesting. It uses the nuclear and
generate. You guys talk about all that physics.
The Coleman battery, that was really.
You would sit back and listen to all you guys talk about physics. It gets so fucking jumbled up because it's just like, and he'll go one place, this place. Yeah. Right. Would you and me have ever? We talk about you.
Organized, definitely.
Somebody special on here. It ain't been. It's all over the fucking place. Might bring somebody very special on here. We need to talk about UFOs. We need to get some special guests on. Fuck the physics for the night. Let's hear about voltaic stimulations and all that shit.
Talk about the physics related to
my gosh, that's the fun part. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
well, I mean, sometimes you guys get off on that physics shit that's so out there that people have. You might as well be talking some other language.
Oh, yeah.
I don't understand this.
We do, but not the majority of the audience is what he's saying.
Yeah.
No, well, yeah. Let's do a show for a change because you do that time for the audience.
Wait, what topics do you want to talk about? What would be an interesting topic?
We want to talk about what's going on with these.
What's happening?
They call them UAPs, whatever. We'll talk about the Tictoc, all that stuff, what our theories of stuff, and go from there.
I like the theme of Frank Aquino. FYI,
on that chemical
who's done any that have been proven to be real?
Truck that spilled in Ohio. That's a
because I'll tell you what, I don't know.
So what is it doing in the United States?
What's that?
That truck that spilled with that chemical is banned in the United States. So what is it even doing?
We went through it. It was straight blue.
No, but that.
Chemical is on your
chemical, but banned in the United States.
Yeah,
so what was it doing?
Check this out. Here's something more important, though. we have had a whole bunch of sabotage, people intentionally derailing the trains in the last year. And I'm betting this is another one. They mentioned shunting, which I guess is putting a piece of metal across the tracks, which disrupts the train's communication system, and somehow that causes derailment. They had mentioned that's been done several times in the recent past. It was on that.
No, but they can detect it through electrical current if there's something on the tracks beforehand. You know, if you knew that.
But but I mean, they are causing derailments by different methods.
Okay, you're not understanding. They catch it before time. If you put a quarter on there, they'll know like at least 20 miles, you know.
Right. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about where they intentionally messed with the switching equipment.
Yes.
You just said they put something around. You know,
I'm talking about where they use shunting is what it was called. I don't know the details of it.
You know, you derail conversations from scientific to garbage, honestly. Really, with all honesty,
just look it up. I got it up for
the conversations into garbage, and you do it intentionally. I don't know why you do that, but I've been on to you for the past few.
I mentioned the link, the leak in Ohio. I was related.
No. I'm talking in general. All your topics, we were. Everybody is on tune. You know, on one thing. And then you come up with something like what does that have to do with that? Yes.
Hey Anthony, you want to come to another stream with me? We can.
You're taking things as personal attack.
I'm not, but I've seen. I just technology.
Hold on. Why are you so
angry? I think it's time to go.
Nobody has said anything bad about you.
I'm
talking about this. I live in Ohio. I live in Ohio. This is important to my life. And this thing's going on around me. We have a bunch. I've got tracks like 2 miles down the road from me that go back and forth into Wright Pat and all these tanker trucks. We had another thing like this nearly 10 years ago with something that wasn't white phosphorus or something like that. Not long ago back then. A lot of this stuff is not an accident. Same thing with the recent power plant things where they the guy messed with the transformer to destroy it, and I think it was outside of Nevada, a little town there. There's a lot of this stuff going on. It's fucked up. There's people doing this. And I looked it up on Wiki for train disasters. There were 16 of them just listed since the beginning of this year. That sounds like way too many.
Did have a lot of chemicals on it. And there's cameras everywhere. They'll know.
Whatever idiot set it on fire too. They should have done liquid nitrogen
set them on fire.
Or at the very least,
if the son of a bitch is caught that did it, should get life in prison. Because how many people did he kill? How many people died?
I just know last night. I mean, I'm 245 miles away from it. Check this out though. Last night there was a really strong chemical smell outside of my backyard. So
how far away do you live from
that? Can I ask how many people died in that train accident? Because that should be a no-brainer. Life in prison, you're gone.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, no doubt.
Definitely.
There had to have been many people died on that damn thing.
For sure.
Yeah.
I've heard about the people doing the things to the power companies, but I hadn't heard of them doing anything with the trains. That was a new one on me. Yeah.
So I'm getting things ready.
Nothing constructive about this conversation. So just
So
you brought up Ohio. I don't see how that happened. I was just talking.
You know what? Ohio. If I come up to your area, you know we're going to Brian.
Oh, who in the
Radium Springs? That's where Bigfoot is.
Oh yeah, I got family in Radium. That's where I heard that freaking thing. I've heard them in there.
Where is that?
Radium Hot Springs, British
Columbia, Canada.
Oh, okay.
Radium Springs is where they're seeing a lot. There's a lot of sightings up there.
Here's my dog.
Wow, is that a cat? Oh, that's a doggy. That's a what type is that?
That's a cute dog.
Yeah, Pomeranian. Nice dog there. They shave up nice, you know.
Yeah, but it's kind of cold.
Oh boy, he's pissed. Looks like a little bear, you know.
Yeah, she looks like a miniature Tibetan Mastiff.
Yeah. Actually.
And here's my other dog. And here's my other dog. This is Neo. Right here. Yeah.
And I hope the bastard that derailed that train's watch, and you're going to prison for the rest of your life.
I
Killed a bunch of people
right?
for no
Like,
fucking reason.
That is really good that somebody doing something like that.
You gotta be sick to do
usually
something like that. You almost gotta. You really do.
oh,
Matter of fact, I'm gonna look up the death toll right now. It's gotta be climbing. Okay.
it only
Train
lasts
derailment in Ohio.
for
Right?
an hour and a half to OdySee. Good to know. Every hour and a half, it ends on OdySee.
OdySee's terrible. It takes forever
Well, yeah.
to upload on there. Okay, here we go.
So Bernie, you gotta teach me crypto. Like you gotta teach me how to make my own crypto.
It's
like crypto.
just go for Bitcoin and maybe some of the banking coins, but who knows? It'll go in another bull run. But there's just so many.
So I gathered like I gathered $108 cryptocurrency, right? I like did the trades like little bit by little bit. I didn't put a penny out of my pocket. All I did was learn the crypto, and they gave me these coins. So I called the Treasury Department and I said, I told them that I wanted to convert this into a paper money. I have $100 and I'm going to do it through my bank, but when you print it, that conversion, that note, that specific note that holds the code of conversion, that's the note that I want. I don't want just any $100. After I told them that, my crypto wallet stopped working. Like
that's funny.
they don't they just yep. So now I'm gonna do it again, and then I'm gonna go, I'm like, you stopped it the first time, but I still want that.
Straight trolling.
I don't want one just printed. I want they do the process. Like, how do they convert digital, into, and I want the code on that, bill. Like, I want that specific one that was issued because of that code, not just anyone. So that's my next project.
Oh, whoa.
See, that's fun. That's constructive. That's meaningful. That's useful.
Yeah.
Not like
we're not getting into it now. What the graph I'm looking at.
Oh my God!
Well,
what's up?
You should see the pictures of the smoke coming out of the sky from that train derailment. Oh my!
Well, we should say it looked at, but then we showed here. It looked red.
Oh my God! They said decades of disaster to the environment, and just decades and decades. It's just it's so bad.
That'll probably be.
I'm still trying to get a death total. I won't give it to. Where the hell is it?
Is it worse than the Fukushima leak? That's like, really.
Oh, no, nothing's worse than Fukushima. Fukushima is horrible. If you ever get a chance, there's a HBO did a. Oh my God! Well, look at this. It's talking about all the cancers and stuff people are gonna get. Let me tell you something. HBO did like a 5 or 6 part series on Fukushima. If you have HBO, watch it. It shows how bad Fukushima was to the best it can show as a TV show. It was horrible. Those guys like melted from the inside out. They had no idea what they were hit with.
Man, Fukushima is still leaking.
What, for Fukushima?
They haven't fucking solved a goddamn thing on that.
What's that?
Is that for Fukushima you was talking about?
Yeah.
Can you
that was awful. Yes, if it's as bad as Fukushima, Fukushima is far worse.
Say it again, Lulu. I couldn't understand what you said.
Nothing.
There had to be so many people died from Fukushima.
Hard to separate people in this. Oh man, you know what they should do?
But doesn't
should add stereo separation to this so we can hear several people talking and it's easier to separate. Well, I can't explain it, but I'm sure everybody knows what you mean by the
this entire neighborhood. This entire neighborhood is going to have to be completely. This is terrible. It's going to have to be completely.
A lot of farm animals.
The neighborhoods are gone. I mean, these neighborhoods, you can't live there anymore. The contamination is so bad.
They had
I don't know what they're going to do.
They had that Facts Matter channel, and they showed where it's called Media Blackout, and he was talking about a bunch of people's farm animals have been killed from it, and it's like 10 miles away.
It's incredibly bad.
I don't know what I smelled last night. If maybe it was just a coincidence.
Oh, I bet it's from there, man.
I definitely smelled something really strong last night.
The amount of lawsuits from this, it had to have been. I'm watching this black smoke just blowing everywhere. I'm sure that's what you smelled if you're in Ohio.
Yeah. I've seen a big cloud of smoke.
There's no way you can avoid it.
It really is that bad. Just burning.
Right before I came here, I've seen a big cloud over the highway too. I've never seen that before in my life. It wasn't fog. It wasn't like diesel exhaust. It was something I've never seen. It was
actually glue.
There's people living at the schools and stuff. Their homes are destroyed. It doesn't give me a death toll. I want to know how many people have died. Well, they probably don't know yet, but it's God. Look, oh my God. The next day after this is over.
This is probably going to be causing cancer for years to come.
Decades and decades. They said they can't even, the amount of toxins they said. You said about sabotage. I bet you're right. This is bad. Imagine what it's going to do to us in 20 years, the guy commented on here. Yeah, it reminds me of 9/11 now. I mean,
I've always seen like 1 or 2 power plants. Turns out there's been like, I think it was like 12 different attempts of sabotage at power plants.
Wow. When did you see
that? But the media like pretty much completely ignores it.
Gosh, that scares the shit out of me.
Another couple got arrested supposedly for it a couple of weeks ago.
For what?
Yeah, that's the one.
Sabotaging the power plants.
Good God.
No, it was like they were claiming some terrorist couple of homegrown terrorists.
Damn it.
We're actually planning on like taking something serious down.
I mean, this is terrible, man.
I didn't know, but they've got trucks with stations in the trucks just in case. They had that whole truck they drove in there for a temporary substation. Didn't even know they had stuff like that, but it's a great idea.
The amount of devastation done, money-wise, you can't even count it. I mean,
well, plus once they started that fire, that's when the animals started to die. I don't know if that's because it's precipitating down or if they just.
Of course it is. That's toxic green, man.
I'm betting it's on the ground everywhere, condensed leaves, everything, and that's why they kill the animals.
At nighttime, watching this fire is unbelievable. It's just.
Yeah.
How long is it burning?
You should see the explosions going off one by one too. It's unbelievable, man.
How long has it been burning for?
Well, they got it out, but this went on for a long time. It's
they set it on fire.
I mean here's the thing right here. If you watch it, you go down. I'm gonna put this in private.
How dumb is that?
You go down and look at this burn, it's just so crazy, man. It's incredible. It's horrifying.
What idiot would do that? Set it on fire? And it's just like, they should have been dumping liquid nitrogen on it, or at the very least, like, dry ice, something, to cool it. And liquid nitrogen would have been fantastic because then it, would have displaced the oxygen and no explosion.
The thing is, where do you get that much liquid nitrogen out? I mean, that might cause an explosion there. I mean, it's just I'm blown away by what I just
I was thinking about that. So along those lines, has much chance of reacting, but if it do, even dry ice, anything like that will cool it and displace
how
the
do you get that much fucking
back to the
Look at that. That's
you can just get it. Wait till you see that. Just a truck of it would be a massive help in this situation. You
need going down
whole area just to do on the very. It was just the size of like maybe 15, 2020 feet.
Yeah, keep going down.
So they can put it out. They can put the foam. Then put the liquid nitrogen to displace the oxygen in the area and cool off the tanks. So
where are you going to get that
cool off the tanks?
Where are you going to get that?
Where it says keep reading. Hold on, you went past it again.
What?
You missed it. Hold on, go back up. You keep going past it where it says continue reading or whatever.
Yeah, BurnEye, your mic's a little distorted. Sounds like how mine keeps doing.
Bernie, what's the other?
Your mic.
Yeah, it's because I got a couple of them going at once right now. I'm gonna have to
Can
shut
still
this
hear you,
down
but
pretty
it's
soon. I gotta get
I want to go to
Because
the
everybody
other
else
one.
is talking.
okay.
the other one. I already
I'm
canceled
gonna
it.
go to the other
Go on the story Mutt Flower and it'll say
stream.
because there's tons of other shit.
God damn it! I'm just gonna.
I
Try.
left the link to that
I'm
video.
I am just going to reopen it because fuck that. All right.
So many videos
You can
and
just turn
stuff.
off.
Who and what? I'm ending them all right now.